Hey guys, just before this podcast starts, want to say a few things. In this one, we do talk about politics some here and there. So if you don't want to listen to that, because totally understand that's not everyone's piece of cake, the boring discussion starts here and ends here. It's on the screen, so you can skip that stuff completely. Also, there will not be a podcast episode next Thursday, so apologies for that. But we will be back the next week, so keep your eye out for that. Sorry, gonna be out of the country, fun stuff. But hope you guys enjoy. Love you so much. Mwah. Welcome to the Super Mega Podcast.
Episode 46.
We're creeping close to 50, baby.
Creeper?
I sound like an idiot because I feel like I start every podcast with being like, man. And I say the number and I'm like, wow, such a big number.
We're almost at 50. And then when we get to 50, it's like, wow, 50 podcasts? Well, I just spoiled what you're going to say for the 50th.
No, I got to write something new now. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
I got to come up with something new for the 50th one. Because I was just going to go, wow, 50 podcasts. And that was it.
I saw Pirates of the Caribbean 5, Dead Man Tell No Tales or whatever.
You saw that?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was out.
I saw that last night, and I'm really mad. Because I sat through the whole thing, and I hated it.
It was that bad?
It's not like an awful film, but I did not like it. Let me put it this way. Sorry, spoiler alert. There's a part in the movie where about, I'd say 10 horses, they rip a building from its foundation and then drag said building through a town. And by that point, which was early in the film, I was like,
that's how building foundations work, Ryan.
Basically, it's like in the movie, they're trying to steal a safe. And this is like, no spoilers, has nothing to do with the plot. In fact, most of the movie has nothing to do with its own plot. Anyways.
But they accidentally steal the whole building instead of the safe.
Yeah.
Bring it back to the boss, and he's like,
He's like, no, he stole the building. And it's just a bunch of horses running around with a giant building through the city.
It doesn't make sense.
And I'm thinking, what the fuck is this? It's ridiculous. And people are going to be like, oh, you're nitpicking a movie that has krakens and giant monsters. It's like, well, yes, because there has to be a certain amount of believability to make the fantastical fantastic.
I love the thought of that being a real thing, because if that was a real thing, then that would be a thing that would happen. People would steal buildings. Instead of a terrorist attack, they'd steal a building.
And drag it through a town. A whole town.
Terrorizing everybody.
They take left and right, go down Main Street with a fucking building.
With a school dragging behind them, behind like a Camaro.
There's so much about this movie that just teed me off.
I didn't know the movie was out. So
Yeah.
I guess that says something about it. I didn't know there was a new Pirates of the Caribbean out.
Well, go figure. I was either going to go see that or Baywatch, and I chose this.
Why didn't you want to see Baywatch, Ryan?
I do.
It looks funny. I read a review that said it was bad.
Not because it actually legitimately looks funny, but because I have to see every fucking movie that comes out, because I torture myself.
Well, that means that every time a new Medea movie... come on. Every time a new Medea movie comes out, we're going to go see it.
Yeah.
We have
Even though the last one was torture. It wasn't funny bad. It was just bad.
It was just bad.
It was awful.
Oh, man. And also, I was going to spoil the ending of the Medea movie, but, I think that's one movie I'm not going to spoil on the podcast, because I want the viewers to go watch that and go into it blind and have a good experience.
What you could do is tie a bunch of horses to their house and then rip it from its foundation.
Tyler Perry's house.
And then drive it around the cul-de-sac a few times.
I want to steal Tyler Perry's house on horseback, and he's gonna dress up as a Medea costume. They could do that. They could have done that in the Medea movie.
They could have,
and it would have been just as terrible as before. It wouldn't have been any better.
Maybe a little better, because then at least they put in some effort, just a little bit of effort.
And there'd be horses, so that's cool.
I'm sorry, I still can't get over the fact. I just remember I was sitting in the movie theater, and it was midway through this scene, and I'm just like, I'm contemplating it, and I just got it down to its bare bones of horses pull building off foundation and drag it through town. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, it's so early in the movie, and it just did this. I don't know if my brain can calm down in time for it to be like a good movie if I can get back into it, because for the whole movie, I was just thinking about that one scene. I was like, that was ridiculous.
Just couldn't get it out your mind.
Yeah, seriously, like 3/4 through the movie, like during the big climactic sword fight scenes and shit, where there's a giant statue fighting Jack Sparrow, and he's jumping on cannons, this big epic things, and all of a sudden, like I just go back and I'm like, yeah, but then they did tie a bunch of horses to a building and rip it from its foundation and drag it through town. So
wouldn't that just rip like? They would just break the walls of the building and the whole thing would crumble.
No.
Speaking of buildings crumbling, you know what I did last night? I sat down and I watched like a 12-minute compilation of hyper-realistic physics simulations where this guy went in Blender or some program and built a bunch of towers of dominoes in the program and then would throw metal balls at them in the program and show it in ultra slow motion. And
Were they hot nickel balls?
They were not hot nickel balls, but they were nickel balls. They looked like they were made out of nickel.
Okay.
They were pretty heavy, but they would be these ultra slow motion collapsing towers, incredible. And then there were ones where it was water in slow motion, these water simulations. They were so cool, and I watched it for about 20 minutes, had a great time, and that's the end of my story.
It's 12 minutes long?
One of them was.
Did he have a simulation where he tied a bunch of horses to a building?
Well, that's
I'm never letting that go.
That's what made me think of it, because when I was watching that, it made me think about the way buildings like would collapse or crumble and stuff.
Yeah.
And that made me think, like, if horses are pulling a building, there's no way it's going to stay intact.
No, of course not.
Of course not.
No, it's not even just that. 10 horses aren't going to be able to pull a whole fucking building. I was watching that and I'm like, should the Mythbusters do this one? I'm like, no, the Mythbusters shouldn't do this one because it's stupid right off the bat. You think they're gonna obviously go? See, they did in Pirates of the Caribbean, so we pulled together 10 horses. You know, we'll give them credit. We got 15 horses and tied them to this house, and if they can pull it off its foundation, we'll consider this myth tested. Tested.
I don't think. Even if they could pull it, like, I don't think that they'd be able to break it from its foundation.
Of course not.
Think about how strong a building is to, like, that's cement.
You also got to think of the time period. Maybe they just made buildings more mobile back then.
That's true.
Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there's a science of how buildings were made back then, and it was a common thing for them to be drug around town, like it's a fucking red wagon.
They did that because then they can move buildings around easier. If they don't like where this building is, or you want to move, you don't have to move out of your house. You can just move your whole house.
You just go, take it out, and then take another one out, and then switch the spots. Go.
How cool that would be. You could just be like, hey, God, I want to put my house over here. And he'd be like, all right, and reaches his hand down and stick it somewhere else.
You know how amazing it would be if, like, at the office, you could pull up a simulation of your room. You see all the trash and stuff in there, and then you see all the furniture, and you could, like, click on it. It's like a click adventure game, and you drag the trash into a trash can, and it just goes away. You can choose to make your bed, and a little meter comes up, and it's like, time till bed is made, and it's like 30 seconds and shit.
That'd be so cool. I mean,
it'd be so helpful.
You could just clean your room in real life, but...
I think cleaning is the only way I actually sit down for a long period of time and listen to a bunch of music.
Really?
Other than, like, when I'm, like, just in the mood for music, I guess. But that's, like, the only activity that I do regularly where I'll listen to a bunch of music. Because if I worked out, I'd be able to listen to music a lot more. And I do it in my car. But I'm talking about, like, just like a hobby or activity where you just sit down and listen to a bunch of...
I am always in the mood for music. Music has got to be one of my favorite things. I could listen to music any time of the day.
It's like I'll be in the mood for music. I'll, like, put something on shuffle and the wrong song comes on and I'm like, not in the music, don't feel like listening to anything anymore.
Just kills your mood?
Yeah, I'm just like, that's not what I wanted to listen to.
Have we ever talked about, like, our favorite music stuff on our podcast?
We've probably mentioned it a few times.
What's your favorite? Can you think of your top 3 favorite musical artists?
Not really, but I just have a bunch of songs and artists that I like.
See, that's the thing for me. It's like it's always hard for me to pick my, like, top 3 because it changes a lot. Because I'll like an artist or a song a lot, but it won't stay my favorite for years.
I think it's delegated to your emotional state at the time, because
Yeah.
music is an emotional experience. Music. What is it? I've read this thing like it does something to your brain. Like it makes certain connections, and it like, for instance, music helps people study because things become easier to remember if you put it into a song and stuff like that. If you have a beat, if you have a rhythm or something, it makes
really?
things a little more easier to grasp, and you can put it together. And since you can bring up a tune, and it's like a little it's like coming up with an acronym for something, I guess. Like
Yeah. Well, when I was in like middle school, I'd study for tests by I'd like try to come up. I'd make my own song and then put the whatever I was studying like into the song, and then I'd be sitting there at the test and I'd try to sing it back, and I'd be like, I don't remember what I came up with, and I just wasted my time making a stupid song last night that I don't even remember now. I'd remember the wrong thing and then write down the wrong thing because of my song.
I was the kid that just sat there with his book open at home, and so when my parents would be like, "Are you studying?" Yeah, but I'd just be staring at the pages. I wouldn't be reading it. I just have the book open so it looked like I was studying. And I just it's like I'd rather go through the effort of just not doing anything and being bored rather than study.
Yeah, because
I was a horrible student.
I hate studying. I don't think who likes studying. Studying is one of the worst things.
Well, you don't like studying for school, but you do like studying because when you're interested in something,
That's true.
You're technically studying all the time, whether it be a video game or a language.
Yeah,
I
I like
culture.
studying. I don't like studying things that are not interesting, and that's it. It just feels like a waste of time. If something's not interesting, and it also, I'm never going to use it in life. If I'm studying it just to pass a test, it's just jumping through hoops.
If we were born a generation back, we would be fucked.
Completely.
Because school is very important. It still is to this day. But, like, we've gotten to a point where it's not as necessary for a certain sect of people, I guess. And we happen to be lucky enough to be within that sect of people. Because in my head, my first thing is, if this doesn't work out, I'm going back to school and getting a degree because I'd have to find a job of some kind.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I hate I think education is super important. I just hate the whole idea that which it's changing as time goes on, which I'm glad. But I hate the idea that if you don't have a degree, it's going to be very hard for you to A, find a job, and B, in most people's eyes, be taken seriously.
Well, it's easier for businesses to look at a degree because they're not going to hold like a competition to see who does the job the best.
That's true.
So it's just an easier, quicker way. And even job interviews don't do really anything for telling whether or not someone is good for a job. But so you really have it up to a degree because the degree just alludes to prior information and work based on the surrounding knowledge that you need for the job.
It says, "Hey, look, I paid this much money and went to school." Because like the
school is way too much money though.
It's way too fucking expensive.
Isn't it like isn't the university system like a private business?
Most stuff is, yeah. Because like community college, I think, like free community college, which as of right now, at this point in history, there's not a lot of that in America. That'd be cool if every state made that, in my opinion. I think that if they made like free community college a thing, that would be awesome, because then it doesn't matter your financial state. It doesn't matter. You don't have to save up all this money or, bankrupt all of your shit or go into debt for student loans. But if you want to further your education, you can pay more and go to a more like private thing. But I love the idea of like a free public college for everyone. A lot of countries have that.
Is a community college the same as a technical college?
No, I don't.
What's the difference between a technical college and a community college?
I think a technical college is a more like, I could be wrong, but I think it's a more hands-on, focused on a certain career type of college. Because when you think of college, it's mainly like you do the 4 years, you do your prereqs, you do this and that and that. And I think a technical college is more based on a specific field. Like if you're going to go into...
but it's not like that college is delegated to a specific field.
Right.
Like Midland's Technical College.
Yeah.
It's just a wide range of a bunch of shit. People can get their like...
well, tech college isn't bad. There's that whole stigma that like technical college or community college is like looked down upon more than like normal college. But it's like, who cares? You're going to get an education. Do what you want to do.
It's looked down upon because like a lot of those kind of white collar, businesses run by frat brothers, they rely on good named universities. And so when you come to a technical college, you're usually going to be thrown, under the stack full of papers of people who went to universities, like legitimate. I don't want to say legitimate universities, but
it holds more, merit.
Yeah,
like just because of the name. But like to everyone listening who is stuck in crippling financial debt from student loans, Ryan and I send you our condolences. We will shed a tear for you.
We got lucky. We dropped out
and became YouTubers, dude. High five! Woo! Fuck yeah!
People ask all the time, like I've gotten like in the past, like on Snapchat and shit, and sometimes on Instagram, I'll get the question of, I'm thinking of dropping out of school to spend some time and try to become a YouTuber or a filmmaker or whatever. Usually it's a YouTuber. I don't know why that's the first thing. I didn't want to become a YouTuber. I wanted to just make stuff. And then
YouTube works for that.
And yeah,
very well.
And then it kind of molded into becoming a YouTuber through, the whole Let's Play medium. Super Mega, what we're doing is definitely more on the YouTube field than automatically going, I want to make stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they'd ask, like, what should I do? And I'm like, I'd say it worked for me. I got lucky, but that doesn't necessarily mean it'll work for you. The chances of it working for you is very like slim.
Well,
and I don't want to be like, no, don't try for your dreams. But there's a risk, and luckily for me, the risk didn't turn out to be anything consequential as of yet. So I'm crossing my fingers.
Just wait until next week.
Yeah.
Woo! God, I knock on wood because you know how the fucking universe works. Where's the wood?
I don't like wood.
Okay, I knocked on wood, so nothing bad's gonna happen.
Nice oak.
Yeah, it was nice, very nice oak. Yeah, but my advice for people that want to drop out of college to become a YouTuber,
take like a year off.
I would say don't do that. But okay, hold on.
Well, you can take like a year off and see. Just
try it.
Test the waters. Because a lot of people take a year off just to take a break from high school and between high school and college.
If you want to take a year off, or if you are in college and you don't want to, like, if you want to focus on you, or you want to take a year off and do this or that, then I say go for it, because you should do what makes you happy and what you want to do. But YouTube is kind of a sinking ship, and also it's very hard to make it in YouTube, especially right now if you're starting from
I think
zero.
It's definitely on the decline.
Oh, 100%. So that's why it's really hard. I guess we just kind of got lucky.
Yeah.
Met the right people type of thing. But
we had content to show for ourselves. There's a little bit of it that it's not just all luck. There's a little bit of something, and I'd like to put a lot more stuff out, of course. And I know we keep saying that and we keep mentioning that we mention that. It's like this ongoing fucking loop. It's like this hallway that never ends. If I had a dream, there would be a door at the end of this hallway. It would say exported sketch comedy video. And it would keep going.
And we're running towards it, and it's just slowly getting farther away. It's like, no!
Because we got vacations, because I'm leaving
tomorrow, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm leaving tomorrow, and then I'm leaving again in July at some point.
I like doing YouTube, though. I really do. As much as I can, point out the negativities of this or that, I do genuinely enjoy doing this, and I love making this podcast.
Oh yeah,
stuff.
like I love being able to do this. But a part of me also is envious of those who took school seriously, because I definitely didn't. I don't think, for the most part, I just didn't pay it any mind. It didn't interest me, and I just had that mentality that could have ruined my life if I didn't have this.
Yeah.
If I didn't, as we said, get lucky and have this happen, my attitude towards school could have just fucked me up. And I'm really lucky, and I realize that in that case that I'm one of the people that not only got lucky and didn't have to go to college, but I'm one of the people that dropped out of college and ended up getting lucky without having that higher educational degree.
This is weird, but I don't know if this is for most people or for maybe some people, but I became exponentially more genuinely fascinated and interested in stuff like history and stuff like that after I stopped going to school.
I get that, and like I am, but I still, because I personally didn't pay that much attention, I'm really fucking stupid when it comes to book smart shit.
Yeah.
As I said, I think the only thing I ever was really super interested in was like film classes. You know, like the
Same that and
stuff.
I liked language stuff.
Yeah. What was that one?
But like when I was in like my physics class and shit, I was like, I hate this. Because I get like, yes, it's useful to a lot of people, but I know myself and I know that I'm not going to do anything in my life that uses this because that's not what I'm passionate about and that's not the type of field I want to enter. So I feel like it's just busy work. And that's what sucks about like a general education is everybody has to learn the same shit.
Yeah.
Which can sometimes...
Well, the same shit at the same pace.
Right. Which some people are slower than others, some people are faster than others. And then, you know, I feel like general education even extends... I feel like it goes down paths that are too specific for a general education.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of the shit I learned in physics or chemistry, like... Well, I actually really liked chemistry, but still a lot of the shit is like, when are any of us going to use this? And especially,
I told you math gets to a certain point like that.
Yeah, totally.
Where there gets to a point where I think after that, then there needs to be... There were choices of which math you could take, but I think it shouldn't be mandatory to take a
calculus.
Math. But like, if you get up to calculus, I think you're good in terms of just knowledge on mathematics.
Like, I think my biggest gripe about school, looking back, is there was a lot of math I learned that would help me today in the real world, but they don't teach it to you in a real world situation, if that makes sense. Like they don't teach you this math in a way where I can actually apply it.
Jeremy had 5.5 apples. What's the square root of the tree? Get it? Root, tree?
Hey, give me a high five for that one, dude. You know, but it's like you learn all this shit, but they don't really teach you how it's going to come into play in your life, so you don't remember it. I just don't get why schools don't teach you stuff about taxes and buying a car and like why was I sitting in school wasting
because your daddy
time?
teaches you that.
Well, my daddy can teach me calculus if he wants to.
He's not going to. I mean, I think that was just like school hasn't really changed its mentality, because I might be wrong on this, but that just feels kind of like something like back in the day. It's like school would teach you all this stuff, and then you'd go home and your dad would teach you how to fix the car and change the tire.
Seriously, if they taught you how to
your
like
taxes,
like that shit is useful shit that everyone should and can know to help them out in life.
And a lot of people whose parents just don't teach them these things, or people that don't even have parents that are in a situation where they don't have a figure that is going to go out of their way to teach them these things.
But yeah,
there needs to be a system, a public system, I don't know, school, that teaches you how to get through life. And these have to be mandatory courses, because taxes are mandatory.
Seriously.
If taxes are mandatory and driving is mostly mandatory in this day and age, especially in South Carolina when Ubers are like 30 minutes away and shit, like just, not everything is... LA right when I need it. I want food right there. I need an Uber right there. I need this.
Most people live in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And the thing is, think about, if they leave stuff like taxes up to the parents to teach, to the people that don't have parents, or the people that have parents that aren't going to teach them that, what happens when they're adults and on their own and they have to pay taxes or something? And no one taught them, but thank God they know the, how to find the hypotenuse of a triangle. Yeah, exactly. It's like, which I don't even remember how to do that shit. I don't remember so much of the shit I learned in school, which sucks because I feel like it was just a waste of time when I could have been learning something that was useful to me or interesting.
I think also that a lot of the stuff you learn, the system doesn't expect you to use it in life or remember it forever. I think
it's like just learning to learn.
It's like working out. It's keeping your muscles strong. So
that's true.
You just continue to learn stuff. But the thing is, if you're going to continue to do that, why not have the mandatory classes that are, useful? Exactly.
Because I remember I was talking to my dad about this when I was in high school, and he said, well, I think a lot of this stuff is just teaching you how to learn. And I was thinking like, okay, well, that's great, but why don't they teach me how to learn with stuff that I'm actually going to use?
Mm-hmm.
And why is my ability to get into college, which affects my entire future, why is my ability to receive different amounts of money from scholarships and stuff, or why is my ability to basically have a future based on whether or not I can regurgitate information that's fed to me?
Yeah.
You know, it's like I guess like most jobs are like that too, because I guess that's how the real world is. But
Well, they needed a system to pass people along, a quick system that kind of just weeds people out.
That's
and
true.
I think test taking is one of those systems where it's not particularly a system that actually works, but it not well that doesn't work in the way that
it works. But
I'm trying to figure out how to word this. It works, but it doesn't work in the way of that you're trying to get the best quality out of someone's learning.
yeah, I guess also one of the biggest things the schooling system does is that it kind of just filters out people that have more definitely not ambition, but more like what's
Discipline.
discipline, yeah, because
Those people didn't like studying. They're people, the really smart kids at your school, even though they got the shit, they had to study for hours, and that it wasn't like, oh my god, I get to go home and study. There's that stigma of the nerd that's like, I can't wait to go home and study, but that's usually just to make the people that don't like to study feel better.
yeah, who likes like
I mean, there are people, like I told you, I like just doing long division because it's fun. It is. It's super fun.
yeah, wouldn't tell me that story again?
I was in elementary school, and we learned long division for the first time, and I was just obsessed with it. So during like math class, when we were learning other stuff that we were supposed to learn, I would just be doing long division in a notebook and not learning the math that I needed to know because I just liked doing long division.
I knew this kid in high school. Well, I knew him pretty much my whole
Are you
life.
about to tell me a story of some autistic kid and link it back to me?
No. I'm
Okay.
telling a story about this genius kid I knew. So you should be honored.
Genius as in like Rain Man genius, or genius
Yes.
as okay.
He wasn't retarded like Rayman, but he was a genius. I knew this kid. I still talk to him every now and then, but he hated like he pretty much hated school and everything that was taught in school, and his passion was learning languages and shit.
Mhm.
And that's pretty much all he did. He didn't talk to a lot of other people. Every single class.
Didn't he like learn a language in a week?
So yeah, this guy.
Is that
I
the
knew,
same guy?
Yeah,
you
it's
told
that
me?
guy.
Okay.
He would sit down in class, and I usually sat near him, and I'd look over. In every class, they were, the lesson be going on. He'd have his notebook in his lap, and he would just be learning Russian or Chinese or Japanese or
Yeah.
something. And that's all he did with his time. When he got home from school, he would be learning languages until like 3 a.m. And I remember he would be doing all of his homework right before class started, just bullshitting answers really quick, and then he'd hand it in, and then all of his time was spent learning. The first one I think he learned was Korean, and then he learned Japanese, and he's the guy that got me into learning Japanese because I started talking to him, and he was showing it to me, and I was like, oh, this is really cool, and it got me into it. But I remember in high school, he became fully fluent in Korean, and he went to Korea for a few months, became fully fluent in Japanese, Mongolian, Russian, and then he got really good at Arabic. Then after high school, he became fluent in Polish because it interested him, and now he lives in Poland right now, and I think he's about to move to France, and he's learned French now.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's like he's incredible, and
I don't have a mind like that.
I don't either. I wish I did because he is got to be the smartest dude I've ever met.
Yeah.
And I remember he was failing his classes, which I guess that's what sucks is because he would not only languages, but he was into number systems where he would study all of these number systems that are based off we use a number system that's based off 10. He would study ones
7?
based off 12, 6, stuff like that. He'd make his own. He made his own language where he made I think so far, I talked to him recently, he has hundreds of pages of grammar notes on a language he created. He was actually in a documentary. I don't know the name of it, so I guess I can't promote it, but he went to a conference and presented this language he made where he had 10,000 words created and shit, and an entire writing system, and he created this whole universe based around it. And he was such a smart guy, and he was failing all his classes, but at the same time, he's smarter than I ever will be, and he knows at this point he has to know at least he's a polyglot, which means he is fluent in many, many languages.
Yeah.
And even if he's not fluent in some of them, he's really proficient, like Kazakh, Arabic, a bunch of European languages, shit like that. It's crazy. So I just hate that to colleges and stuff, he's seen as stupid and they won't take him, even though he's a fucking genius.
But he has a skill that's useful to a lot of businesses, which is a lot of businesses outsource. So
Yeah.
if he can do...
He can work in the government.
Yeah, he'd be great for that. He definitely, I think to work for the government, he'd definitely have to...
That's the problem. It's like he would need an education.
Yeah.
Almost guaranteed. Even though he can pick up a language like that.
Even though he has a special skill, he doesn't have a certificate saying he has that.
Exactly.
Special skill.
That's the thing. And I remember he would he'd get interested in new language. I remember he was like, I'm gonna start learning Vietnamese. And I remember I think 2 or 3 weeks after he said that, I saw him like he was having a conversation in Vietnamese with this Vietnamese kid at our school. And he was like speaking it. Well, the thing about this kid was
I think that would be my superpower when I'm thinking about it, to be able to understand and speak in any language.
God, that'd be amazing.
That would be better than flight for me. I don't know. There's just something about I would like because if you choose fly or invisibility, then you become a freak and you'll be hunted down by the government. Just saying.
That's true.
But if you choose the whole just bilingual thing,
you'll still be hunted down. But
polyglot.
See,
what would be the other tense of that?
What do you mean?
Is it just like when you're
a polyglot,
like a bilinguist, bilingual?
I think it's just polyglot. You are a polyglot.
Okay,
but like, well, if you choose that skill, you would still be hunted down by the government, but they would give you a very high paying position. So see, that's pretty cool.
I'd love the idea of just always just being able to turn on any foreign movie, and instead of having my eyes divert down to the subtitles and back up to the screen, I can focus on the visuals 100% and focus on the actors, because that's what, even though I don't do dubs because you lose a lot of the emotion that is going on in the acting in the scene.
Yeah.
So when you do dubs...
And it feels goofy. It just feels like there's this weird fake layer to it where it just feels like fake.
Yeah. And so when I listen back, I realize that you have to think, how often are your eyes actually on the center of the screen watching what's going on and not reading the bottom?
Yeah.
Usually it takes about maybe 2 watches, and then on the third watch, I'd kind of get the gist of what's going on, and then if I can get the gist of what's going on, I'm not looking down at the bottom because I already have read the dialogue before. But I feel like I'm missing out a lot when I'm watching foreign movies because my eyes divert to the bottom, and maybe I'm missing those subtle details, like the details that they'd put in Breaking Bad.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah, that I'm just not noticing.
And I love foreign movies, and that's why learning other languages would be... That's why I'm interested in that, is because, like, think about how much culture there is in American culture, how many movies, songs, books, stuff like that. Every other culture in the world has their own too. So
we're like
think about
the
how many
garbage can of cultures.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in like a shitty way. We're like the
melting pot,
the
like
gumbo of
yes, a gumbo. We're a nice thick stew. Of stuff. But like, I don't know, I think it's cool that other cultures also have their own movies and songs and books, and then if you learn the language, you can enjoy them just the same as you could a movie here.
But do you feel, and I'm asking you this because you're definitely more into learning about cultures, you actively try to teach yourself more about cultures you're interested in than I do. Do you think this whole cultural appropriation outlook that has been kind of dominating media and stuff, and just kind of like other sources, do you think that's getting in the way of people being able to share their culture and just kind of having cultures shared within this melting pot?
Well,
I know there's a disrespect level, but there's also that level of these people are, I don't know. I know there's usually a key difference between what people say is cultural appropriation and not, but do you also feel that hinders the progress of people being able to share their cultures and come together and one person use another person's culture, stuff like that?
Yeah, totally, because I think that in terms of quote-unquote cultural appropriation, when people say that, usually when someone says cultural appropriation, usually it's someone getting mad that someone is doing something or using something from someone else's culture if it's not their own. So usually people get mad for others for that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like...
Well, I think it has a connection in terms of a higher up, let's say, I have to because it's a perfect example. Just the white man versus certain minority groups because those minority groups were put down in history. So now it's like, oh, now that we have our culture, now you think it's cool. It's like that type of mentality where it's like, oh, now that you deem it's okay, that type of thing.
Yeah, I could see that. But I think that in terms of stuff like people being I've seen a lot of shit get called cultural appropriation when
That's
it's
ridiculous.
Just
like dreads.
Yeah, it's like
if a person has dreads
and someone's like, that's cultural appropriation. It's just
it's hair.
Because
you can choose what you can.
It's somebody liked that something from that culture, and then
or just liked the style. They didn't really,
and then wanted to do it too. It's like that. That's not taking away from. Or someone could probably easily prove me wrong in the comments, but I think that. I think culture should be shared. I don't think they should be kept, to one group. I think that's the whole point. It's because people have different shit and creations and beliefs, and I think that's cool to share them around, and people can be like, check this out. But like that's why I like going to Japan, because it's so different and the culture is so different. I would hate it if I went to Japan and I was trying to like enjoy the aspects of that culture, and then some teenagers like, that's cultural appropriation. You can't enjoy that because you're white. It's like, who fucking cares? It's like it's another culture and it's cool to look at.
How do you talk to a person who is in that mindset of calling people out with cultural appropriation, and they use the examples of like the college people? Their examples are always college frat parties where they wear sombreros and stuff like that, or let's use the dreads example.
Well,
because they feel like if that person then is wearing dreads, it's like fine. If they're so interested in another culture, they just like the style, then how come that person didn't learn about that culture? And how come they just got the hairstyle?
I guess a good example.
And I'm not defending. I'm saying they can have whatever hairstyle they want. I think cultural appropriation is definitely getting in the way of people being able to comfortably share cultures and kind of come together. And yes, some people do it in a shitty way, but how do you kind of talk to someone whose mindset is that of kind of setting boundaries in between cultures and really segregating cultures off, which is the whole kind of, it's the opposite of what America is
in
kind
principle.
In principle of what America is sought to want to be.
Okay, I guess a good example of what people call as cultural appropriation is something like Cinco de Mayo, where that's like a Mexican holiday, and then people will be like, oh, it's just an excuse for white people to get drunk type of thing.
Yeah.
Or like frat guys wearing sombreros type of shit. I think that there's a level within stuff like that where a lot of people, I think cultural appropriation, I think types of it, I think that there is a degree of cultural appropriation that is real, where more out of like an ignorance about it, if that makes sense.
Like blind ignorance, blissful ignorance type of thing.
Yeah.
Where they're not really thinking about, they're not necessarily thinking about the culture, they're just thinking about the aesthetic and the joke behind whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Doing. Because I don't think when Americans go out and get drunk on Cinco de Mayo, I don't think
they're actively trying
to
suppress Mexican culture.
They're not trying to disrespect the culture. It's just something that's bled over, and it's like, oh, that's a holiday where they celebrate and drink a lot, and it's like, oh, well, let's do that too, type of thing. I don't think it's people willfully trying to be ignorant about, the other culture or something. And like I said, I think that cultural appropriation, I think that there is a real aspect to it, and there is real cultural appropriation, but I think in this day and age, people, like they do with most things, especially on the internet, they jump the gun and they start calling a lot of things cultural appropriation.
They're just looking for a headline.
An example is, I heard someone call, there's a band I like called Caro Caro Bonito, where it's a British white girl, and she sings, in a lot of her songs she sings in Japanese, and someone was saying that they thought that was cultural appropriation, and it's like, no, she's very interested in that culture, the singer of that band. She speaks Japanese too, and it's just something she's always been into, so she integrated that into the art she makes. That's not cultural appropriation.
She's using other music to create something of her own.
Yeah.
And I think when it comes to creativity and this whole cultural appropriation thing, when it gets into that territory, I call bullshit quickly, because creativity, you need room to expand, maybe make choices that aren't the right choices, you need a lot of room in the creative world. And when people start choking that creative energy, it can only lead to bad things. Like, for example, what's probably going to happen to YouTube, it's going to become just like cable television. It's going to become very filtered, very, very vanilla at some point. And that's just the direction things go because companies adhere to the mass. And right now, the mass is saying,
you have to be super PC.
yeah, exactly. And I'm not saying, so you're just creating that extra room so you can get away with stuff. And you could look at it like that, but I really do feel like, I picture just a big room. You need a lot of room to just fucking work with whatever you're thinking about, or just talk about what you want to talk about. And if you start constricting language and the way people act, then people aren't acting genuine, and they're not having genuine discussions. Then you're not learning anything. Then you're just acting according to a certain set of rules,
and
which is very gray and
uniform. And
yeah.
And like the way I see it with Caro Bonito is I see it's like she's interested in this and she's mixing something from another culture with this culture and she's making something new. I don't see it as appropriating Japanese culture. Like, I just think that that's a big crock of shit. Like, I feel like people nowadays use cultural appropriation. It's just another one of those things where it's like, oh, I can call you out for this. Because it makes them feel more self-righteous to call other people out.
Isn't it just a synonym for a form of racism?
Yes, essentially.
So, look, as you said, like, I understand the situations where it is legitimate racism,
and there is legitimate racism and cultural appropriation that exists. Yeah. But I think that people have their finger on the trigger nowadays, like, and do it because it makes them feel more self-righteous, which is a lot of the internet.
That's a big problem, is self-righteousness.
Because it's like, if I call someone out for this, it puts me up here, and above this.
Which I'm not gonna lie, like I've dabbled. We've all had those moments. Like, whether it be in personal lives or maybe just a discussion online or something where it's like, you're right. And it's like, it feels good to be right. It feels, it's like a drug when you're right. And someone's like adamant that they're right and they're wrong. It's like, I'm sorry. There's just some chemical where it just feels good to have the knowledge that someone else doesn't have. Not in like a braggy way.
Well, no, it's just that natural response that every human gets when you're right. It triggers a little something in your brain. Yeah. Your brain rewards you. It's like, good job, you're right. They're wrong. You won it was an obstacle and you got over the obstacle. So your brain's like, good. But
it's like once that build up and that debate is finished, the stress dissipates.
Yeah, and you come out of it happier because it's like you were right. So people, especially people that, are just on the internet, and nowadays it's very easy to call people out on stuff. And if you have a whole culture supporting you for calling people out and doing the air quotes righteous thing, and I've said this before, probably on a podcast, but my problem with PC culture is is when it starts to censor comedy. And I'm not, and by that I don't mean like, oh, so you think it's okay to like joke around and say the N-word and stuff? That's not what I mean. What I mean is when someone makes a joke specifically like based on something sensitive, and then you get shit on because you can't make comedy out of something that other people deem offensive. Yeah. And they get really mad at you and try to, hush you for that. And it's like, well, the point of comedy is, well, not everyone has the same sense of comedy. And also a big part of comedy is making light of terrible things. And I am not talking about, making a joke about a terrorist attack right after it happens. Like, that's not what I mean by, oh, they're being PC. I'm talking about, like, I say something that is clearly sarcastic. It's clearly a joke. I don't have these sentiments. And then someone gets, really mad. And then
the joke is that there are people that actually think like that.
A lot of the time,
it's funny to us.
A lot of the time I make a joke because it's making fun of people who actually act like that. And then people, for some reason, see it as, oh, he is that person. He actually acts like that.
And we'll admit it. I'll admit it, these jokes aren't a work of art. They're spewed out while playing a video game most of the time. And it's not like these are jokes that we've been working on for weeks and months, recording ourselves at a comedy club.
I lay in bed awake at night, staring at the scene like, oh man, I gotta get what good racist joke can I come up with? Yeah,
you record yourself just trying it in a faux let's play. but like the type of comedy that let's play. That at least our Let's Plays require. It's more of just kind of like a shooting the shit back and forth, saying a bunch of stupid. You'd think people would make that connection of, oh, these aren't stand-up comedians, and these aren't.
Well, we're not professional comedians.
Yeah, we're not.
People tend to hold things that are said in Let's Plays. People tend to hold like freeform comedy stuff, like what we do with our podcast and Let's Plays and whatever. They hold that up to the same standard that they would hold a professional comedian up to. Which you said this a while back in real life. I don't think you said it on the podcast, but you said that, comedians, for example, and I don't call myself a comedian by any means. Like,
no.
Comedians, they have weeks and months where they practice material. They perfect
They
a
work
joke.
their ass off. They go to clubs. They use material that sometimes doesn't work. They try it out multiple times. And basically what comedians are trying to do is they're trying to find a good anywhere between 15 minutes, like if they're an opener, or an hour if they're doing a special or a show.
Of the best.
They're 15 minutes to an hour of the best material they can possibly muster up. A Let's Play is spur of the moment, dumb, just stuff coming out of our brains,
flying out of your brain, and it's like we're not professional comedians, and we do this every day pretty much. So it's like we don't have the time to perfect comedy we just sit and we do what we think is funny and try to be entertaining, and it does not always land, and a lot of the time it doesn't land. So I think it's dumb that people hold up these daily YouTube videos to the same benchmark of standard that they would hold up a professional comedian or a movie or a TV show to.
We make what we make because people want to watch it. I'm not like making Let's Plays for me. I'm like, Matt, I got this great idea. I really think this, like, I don't know, it's something I really want to do. Why don't we play this video game and talk over it and just joke around for a bit? Like, this is not some grand idea, this grand master magnum opus that we've come up with. This is just purely riffing, as you said, free form, just spouting stuff out.
Yeah.
And people have the right to, of course, judge whatever they want. They can find it funny or not funny. But when people start classifying themselves as the arbiter of comedy, that's when I'm like, okay, calm down, because you're not a comedian either. You like, it's just they put you on a pedestal you didn't sit on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So,
but I'm sure that people are tired of listening to us complain because they. Well, I know it sounds like we're complaining, but we really, I don't know. It's just interesting conversation.
It's explaining, because I don't want people to think that when we make these jokes and Let's Plays, like we like. I don't know what you think, but I don't think like I'm putting out the best material I could possibly put out. The best material I could possibly put out is stuff like sketch comedy, where we're fine-tuning stuff. Like I like putting that stuff out, but I also like playing games and talking stuff. And if people like watching that, I'm gonna make it.
I love making Let's Plays still. I just don't think that I just think a lot of people hold them too high of a standard because it's a Let's Play. And
it's a podcast where the hosts are sidetracked by a video game. And usually
yeah, exactly.
It's like, when you're talking on the phone and trying to watch a movie, it's like that.
But yay, there's our little. I feel like every 15 or so podcasts we just rant about.
We just take this is one of those chill episodes
where it's
it's not focused on the laugh moments or the funny moments or what we're trying to create.
Yeah, I feel like every 15, 20 podcasts we just have a serious political one. Not even political, but just
political is the right word, because political doesn't always mean American politics and stuff like that. Political just essentially means
So guys, that's you got your fix. Give another 20 podcasts and we'll do it again. So. Yay! Now back to the funny laughs. Okay, how much did the Pirates of the Caribbean movie actually have to do with pirates this time? How much piratry was there?
There's a lot of piratry. They're all about.
Oh, there
pirates.
Was? Okay, I didn't know if they were starting to I didn't know if they were starting to not have as much high seas fun-filled family pirate adventure.
No, because they've had Pirates of the Caribbean. What was the first one? Was that the only title? Did it have a tag?
Dead.
Nope.
Black Pearl, right?
Okay, Black Pearl.
Wasn't that the first one?
Then there was Dead Man's Chest.
Something like that.
Then there was At World's End. Then there was the spin-off with Jack Sparrow. I forgot what that, the Golden Compass or whatever.
They made a spin-off movie?
With Jack Sparrow as the main character.
Oh,
It had mermaids and shit. And then they made the
Very
one
forgettable.
with Blackbeard. Unless Blackbeard was the one with the spin-off. Let me see real quick.
What's the one with Davy Jones where he had the cool like octopus face?
That's my favorite one. That's the
That-
second,
I
that's
enjoyed
the
that
second one.
Yeah, that one was fun.
I think the first and second are the only two I will ever kind of give notice to because I don't like any of the other ones.
I remember me and my my good buddy Christian, the guy who does the Japan vlogs, we went to go see that movie Priest when it came out, and then after we bought the tickets, we just decided to go see the new Pirates of the Caribbean, and afterwards we were like, probably should have seen Priest.
Probably. Oh, okay. Dude.
What?
Okay. So there's Pirates of the Caribbean.
Ian.
Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, and there's At World's End, then there's On Stranger Tides, and then Dead Man Tell No Tales.
I don't even remember On Stranger Tides. I don't remember
Stranger
any of this
Tides
shit.
with a spin-off with, with Ian McShane as Blackbeard. Do you know what Ian McShane is?
Why do I feel like I've seen
You know who
that?
Ian McShane is,
Yeah.
right?
I feel like I've seen that.
There was a mermaid. At the end, the mermaid drags the protagonist, I think, into like the water or some shit.
I did see
Spoiler
that.
alert.
I totally saw that. Someone is sitting at their computer right now just...
I was gonna watch that!
It's probably someone that was planning on watching it like right after this podcast, and now they're just like, fuck it!
They're gonna have a call to action about spoilers in our podcast.
They can just stop listening. God, no, please don't. Please do not stop listening. We need listeners more than ever right now. We're sorry. Please listen.
It's impossible to spoil Stranger Tides.
Stranger Tides.
It's just not a movie where if you spoil it, people
know.
are like, "What? What? Oh, ah!"
That means it's a very forgettable movie.
It is. Most of the Pirates movies are now forgettable. I can say that. Most of them are forgettable because only 2 of them are worth like any of your time, really.
Stranger Tides with Finn Wolfhard.
I'd see it if it had Finn in it.
Oh man,
the new It, and I'm gonna go see that.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for that because I loved the original It. I had it on.
Did you like the part with the giant spider that went? I'm the true form.
No,
it is me.
That didn't happen.
His true form is a giant spider.
No, it's not.
Matt.
You know what my mom told me?
Wait, are you joking?
Is that in the movie?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in so long. I forgot that.
I'll let me pull up a picture of the giant spider. Maybe it'll.
You're fucking with me.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Spider. Remember, it's this thing. He turns into that thing. Maybe you caught it on TV and just didn't watch it all the way through.
I haven't seen that movie in like 10 years, so I somehow forgot about that. But that's fucking terrifying.
That's his true form.
Ugh. Ew, I hate that.
I know.
That movie's so scary.
It
is. It plays on like all the good fears. Spiders, clowns, like all that shit.
And the books are even more fucked up because...
Was it multiple books? Was it a series?
Sorry, the book is fucked up.
Oh, like I remember we had it on VHS, and it was one of those movies that was on 2 VHSs because it was long, kind of like Titanic and Saving Private Ryan.
Yep.
I remember I had a bunch of friends over for a birthday party when I was in 4th grade, and my parents went to bed, and we put it in the VCR, and we watched the whole thing and scared the shit out of ourselves.
God, those were the days. I never had those VHSs, but I had like when games came on multiple discs. Like I think Fallout 3 came on multiple discs. I think Halo 3. Maybe that's just because I got the limited edition. But I remember several games were really big. Like Grand Theft Auto 5 that came out for the 360 was multiple discs. Or maybe that was, I think it was 5 and 4. I don't know. There were multiple games that came out, and it was like 2 discs or 3 discs, and it's like, now it's time to insert disc 2.
Now you got the Switch cartridge that's the size of, your fingernail.
Yeah.
I'm going to take it back even farther. I remember installing Quest for Glory, So You Want to Be a Hero
with floppy disks on our really, really old computer, and my dad and sister were there, and we were sticking. It was like a bunch of floppy disks. You had to put one in at a time and install the files.
In school, did you have your own personal floppy disk?
Oh yes, I remember
Those were
that.
the days.
It's so weird how much technology.
Got your
is
floppies?
advanced.
Hell yeah!
I love floppy disks. I wish they were still used.
They look really cool.
They're fucking awesome.
I know.
You can go to the store and buy a bunch of them for cheap. You can't find floppy disks in any store now, right?
Can you find floppy disk inserts?
I just want a floppy disk just to have, because they're
frame.
they're so like they're very aesthetically pleasing. Holding one and like this is what they used to put data on. It's like a little plastic card. It's so cool.
Not gonna lie, if like there was a movie I loved and someone just put it onto a floppy disk, I'd just frame it.
I don't think you can fit a movie on a floppy disk. That's why I had to install a shitty pixel art game on like 12 different floppy disks.
I forgot floppy disks can't like
what was the average? I feel like it had to be in
megabytes.
Definitely megabytes, but I feel like it was even in the form of like less than 256.
I just remember floppy disks always gave me problems.
I remember, but the feeling of popping one in was the most satisfying. Holy no way.
What?
1.44 megabytes? In 1986, the 1.44 megabyte disk drive shipped in 1986. Wait a second. So you're telling me that floppy disks were only a few megabytes? How the fuck did they put shit on things?
I thought I like put PowerPoints and shit on there. Because I remember I had to put PowerPoints and stuff on a floppy disk because it was part of the project. In the what do you call it? What's the thing called? The thing that they give you for a project, and it lists all the bullet points of what needs to be on it.
It starts with an R. Rubric.
Rubric.
Is that it? Rubric? It's been so long since school, I don't remember these words anymore. Rubric?
I think it's the rubric.
Is it rubric?
I want to say it is.
If it's not rubric, we sound like idiots. Rubik? Rubrics? I feel like it's rubric.
The Rubik's Cube?
That's a word. Rubric is a word. Everyone take out your rubric. That's a funny sounding word. Rubric. Listen to it. Take out your rubric. Sounds like some goofy Willy Wonka shit.
Sounds like a Willy Wonka character.
Rubric. It sounds like a Hunger Games character. Rubik von Kleesel.
Salazar Rubric.
Exactly, yeah. President Rubric.
That would be cool.
I feel like most people listening to this are just amazed the fact that we're amazed by the word rubric, because in a lot of people listening, that's a word that's probably used pretty frequently in their lives.
There's a lot of frequent words that sound goofy when you say them a lot, though.
Trolley, 11. I remember being a little boy and being like 6 and sitting on the toilet and saying the word 11 over and over and over again because it didn't sound like a word anymore. And I was just sitting there on the potty going 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11. And it sounded really weird. That probably was a very weird sight to see if my mom walked in.
That's what I was just thinking, like your parents are walking by the door.
She'd take me to a psychiatrist.
11, 11, 11.
There's something wrong with my boy. Ryan.
Yeah?
What if Nintendo released a new console and said that it only took floppy disks? I thought I had more to that, but I don't.
No. Well, I think each time I pick up my Switch, it solidifies itself as one of my favorite consoles I've ever owned.
Oh, me too. I'm loving it more and more every day.
People are like, what games? There's a lot of games for the Switch. Even right now, I probably have 6 games right now for it. You can subtract Kamiko. Kamiko or Kamiko? Where's the accent go?
I don't know. Kamiko.
Okay.
I don't.
Also, people in the comment section, I'm gonna say. Here it is. 1, Kamiko. 2, Kamiko. 3, none of the above. Choose a number and put it in the comment section below.
If it was a Japanese person, they'd probably just be like Kamiko. But I actually think that the game is from a Japanese studio. So,
you know, if this happens, if this thing that I'm about to say happens, the Switch will become the best console I've ever owned. If they pull off the Virtual Console for GameCube and release like Luigi's Mansion, Mario Sunshine,
Animal Crossing.
If
they release Animal Crossing on GameCube, that will erect me.
There's so many classic games for the GameCube that if they came out with a Virtual Console for the Switch,
well, I thought they already announced they're going to do GameCube games.
But I'm wondering which ones. If they're doing GameCube games, they're gonna have to do Luigi's Mansion. I really want to play Luigi's Mansion so bad.
Mario Sunshine, they'll do Animal Crossing, they'll do Smash Bros. I'm sure they'll do all the big ones.
Yeah.
Like, if they do it GameCube and they just release shitty games, I will be so disappointed. Because I remember for
like
a while,
Sarge's War.
I remember on the Wii Virtual Console, I remember there was a point when it was just like shitty NES games.
Yeah.
It wasn't
The Wii U or the Wii?
the Wii.
Did the Wii have a Virtual Console?
It did. It had Virtual Console.
I didn't own it long enough to find out. Remember, I sold mine for an Xbox 360.
Oh man, when the Wii first came out, I remember I wanted one so bad, but they were off the shelves for like 6 months, and finally I was at Target one day with my dad, and I saw one, and he was like, "Yeah, I get it," but then I had to work months raking leaves and doing stuff. I remember I made posters for myself around the neighborhood to do chores for people so I could make money to pay my parents back for the Wii, and it was it was a fun, hardworking experience that I will always cherish because I fucking loved the Wii. Right when the Wii came out, I was like the ability to make my own Mii and play Wii Sports and stuff. I was like,
I loved. I think I played Wii Sports more than any Wii game.
Same, dude. I loved Wii Sports. I still like Wii Sports. We should play that on the channel.
We should.
Not Resort, like just Wii
Yeah.
Sports.
I think the Wii, even though there are a number of really good titles for it, I still think it is definitely one of the weakest consoles ever.
Oh, I agree. I totally agree.
In terms of game lineup and just its general console. Like, the thing is, though, it's so important because it brought about the current generation of Nintendo's, I guess, look.
I feel like everything
the
leading up to the Switch.
the Mii's and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like, it all, in the music, that type of music, the menu music, that started with the Wii. The dun 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 dun.
Oh, you
dun,
cannot
dun,
beat
dun,
Nintendo's
dun, dun.
menu music.
Nope.
Like that they make for the different channels and the jingles. And I remember on the photo channel on the original Wii, the slideshow music you could pick.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was like, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, 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 and it's so nostalgic every time I hear it. And then Wii Sports had great music. Nintendo's got their music shit down.
Was that the first console that had a home menu?
like a channel interface, like
yeah.
a bunch of different things? I think so.
The GameCube was just like the spinning thing, and then it would be like, no disc is in.
Yeah, the game.
Right?
Like I think that was the first.
GameCube is still one of the best consoles, and that's why I'm saying if they release the right games for Virtual Console for the Switch will become probably the best console I've ever owned.
I feel like all the Nintendo shit since the Wii has just been leading up to the Switch. It's
Yeah.
been like they've been perfecting it, and then the Switch is. And who knows? Maybe their next console, when it comes out,
They're gonna release a more powerful Switch in about a year or two, probably.
and they're gonna. I'm calling it now. I'm serious. If you're listening to this podcast, and this is in the future, and this has already happened, I'm calling it. On the next version of the Switch, they're going to move the AC, the little where you plug in the charging cable, to the side or the top. It's not gonna be on the bottom anymore because it's really inconvenient.
They also just need to change a bunch of the save file shit because you can't transfer your saves from one Switch to another.
At least not yet.
You can only save games.
I
You can save your saved game, but when you try to play it on another Switch,
It just doesn't. That's
Yeah.
weird. I don't know why they did that. I
They
love
need to do
Nintendo.
a cloud save system.
Yeah, I love Nintendo, but at the same time, they still do shit here and there that I'm like, why? You can not do that, or you could do this the way it should be. But then again, I'm just bitchy 21-year-old just complaining about Nintendo. So.
Yeah, Nintendo is my favorite game company.
Me too. I hold Nintendo up because I don't know. Maybe it might just be mainly based on nostalgia, but
As I think I've mentioned this before, a lot of their games
yeah,
are video games. They're the type of games you play to like have fun. I mean, I don't know. There's something about the games that specifically are Nintendo.
they have consistently made, and I don't mean like all their games, but I mean like throughout my life, they have consistently produced games that I have fallen in love with. So
They made it through the first person shooter era of gaming. Like without having to really
to make one, they didn't make anything
They
first
just
person.
port. I thought they made a few things. Like the Wii, of course, had a few things, but I don't think there's.
No, but I mean like Nintendo
there's an
hasn't
IP
produced
specifically for Nintendo that's an FPS that became popular.
they keep it
No.
third person, like Splatoon. That's third person,
I like that though.
which is weird because they totally could have made it first person. But
That would be Splatoon would be bad if it was.
I'm
first
so
person.
glad they did it third person.
It has to be third person.
Yeah.
Oh god, Splatoon 2 is coming out in July.
Pre-ordered it. I just pre-ordered it
We're gonna-
July 28th or 16th or something. I don't know.
Hopefully we get it on the same day.
I hope so, so we can play. Yeah.
Say hey. Anyway, Stardew Valley is something that I'm excited for because I've never played it and I'm gonna play it for the first time on the Switch.
I played it. I was sick like 4 months back, and I played it a bunch when I was 6. So I've run my course with it again. But as soon as it comes out, I'll probably get it. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
And then, E3 is coming up real soon.
From what I'm most excited just to see two things, and that is Nintendo's conference, their not E3 conference, and then
Their Treehouse or Direct or whatever.
and then the Far Cry 5, just because I think it's such an interesting setting, and I'm excited to see.
It does look
what they
interesting.
do.
I'm most excited for Nintendo's just because the Switch is so young still, and they have so many big titles that I know are eventually going to come out on the Switch.
They're gonna
like
have
Pikmin,
to. They're
Animal
gonna
Crossing.
have to release a bunch of shit. They're gonna have to just. If they don't blow it out of the park this year with game announcements, I think they've definitely missed a grand opportunity.
And Nintendo has missed grand opportunities in the past.
They're known for that.
So
They're known for just ignoring opportunities.
I wouldn't run it by them to completely slip up on this year's E3
But
presentation.
they've held back year after year, really.
And now the Switch is out, and they have consistently recently been doing everything that has been making people happy.
Yeah.
For the most part. They've been listening and doing shit that people are like, yes, Nintendo, yes, you're
Yeah.
doing this, good. So
A lot of people hate the Switch still, I think.
I haven't seen too much hate for it, but I know for sure it's out there.
Yeah.
Like Xbox, and the thing is, like, you don't have to be a fanboy of one console over. Like, I like PlayStation too. I love
Consoles
PlayStation.
are dying
Definitely.
because there came a point where having a computer and a console was a lot kind of easier for people.
It's different, and also computers couldn't handle games way back. Like,
Well, they could, but not like
they couldn't handle what, like, like a Nintendo 64. Your computer back
they just
at the
weren't
time.
they weren't made to consume content like that because games were made for consoles.
Yeah.
Now it's getting to the point where computers, the consoles are just essentially computers, just less, toned down computers, and that's the way they've usually always been. But I think especially now, maybe it's just because I'm not at that age anymore. Maybe console wars are still a thing. I don't know. I don't know if it's still like this huge fucking thing, but
Behind closed doors, it is.
from like my perspective, they were a lot bigger. I think the console wars were at its peak with the Xbox 360 and PS3. Like the Xbox 360 versus the PS3 was like the biggest console fight I've ever seen.
Well, actually, I haven't read it, but Aaron got us copies of the book Console Wars, and apparently the biggest console war ever was back in the day between Nintendo and Sega, I think.
Like with fanboys and shit.
No. I'm talking about corporations.
Not corporations. Fan.
Oh, fan bases?
Yeah.
I would say definitely, because it was so polarizing back in the day with Xbox or PlayStation.
Yeah.
So funny. It's like they're both.
I just owned both consoles.
They're both cool. Well, I'm sorry I can't be rich like you, Ryan, and own all the video games in the world.
I was just spoiled.
I didn't have video games as a kid, really.
I'll own up to it. I was spoiled.
You're a spoiled little bitch.
I was an only child.
Good job, Cecile.
So my parents were like, "Oh, we didn't give him a brother, so now we need to give him Xbox."
We did not give the boy brother. We must give him Xbox.
We got you a new baby brother. Open it, it's an Xbox. Ah, gee, thanks.
I just imagined your mom birthing an Xbox. Probably not a great image to imagine. But my sister had a Game Boy Color, and I kind of shared it with her a little bit.
You're just gonna act like you didn't just say that?
No. And I didn't really have video games as a kid. I don't know why. My parents just didn't buy them for me.
That was you exclaimed recently of how you were kind of don't you feel like you've missed out a little bit?
100%. I wish that I had played all of these games as a kid because I was
because you have that
makes me
ignorance as a kid. You don't have as we've said before, reality sets in and just kind of changes you as a person in general and your outlook of stuff. Like you and I still enjoy video games 100%, and sometimes we still get that childlike glee, but it's impossible to enjoy as if you were a child.
And the thing is, I hear all my friends talking about all these old games, and I'm like, I want to be a part of that conversation. And it makes me feel super young, like, because it makes me feel like everyone's ahead of me. But the thing was, I was alive in that age during the same time. I just didn't have the video games.
Yeah.
And I fucking wish I did, because that would have been especially knowing the career I ended up going into, air quotes career, I wish that I had those games so I could have stronger memories of this or that and know more about games. Because I wish I knew more about the general realm of games and old games and classics and stuff. Same with movies. There's a lot I don't know for most classic and famous.
I haven't seen a lot of the classic movies. I haven't seen Godfather, Scarface, American Beauty. I haven't seen just a lot of shit that I probably need to see.
I had the ending of American Beauty completely spoiled for me.
Please don't.
No, I'm not going to.
Because I heard it won an Oscar, so it's got to be a good movie.
I want to see it. I've seen a couple scenes from it, and I was like, that was amazing. That was really sad. So, I want to go see it.
What's the last movie you and I saw together?
Alien Covenant.
Yep.
We saw that.
I forgot about that. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't forget.
You already forgot about when we hung out?
No.
Fuck, dude.
We should go see Baywatch.
We should also end the podcast.
Okay,
Now
bye.
Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to the Super Mega Podcast, episode 47.
That's right.
And we're here with Ryan McGee.
AKA the birthday man.
It is the birthday for you. It's Ryan's birthday. How old are you, Ryan?
I'm 23.
23 years old, man. That's crazy. That's huge. Now you're not one year older than me. Now you're 23 and I'm 21. So now it's weird again.
Would you look at that?
Hey,
it doesn't feel that weird because I don't feel a large age difference. I did when we first met.
How old were we? I was 19 when we met. You were 21. Now I'm 21 and you're 23.
You're as old as I was.
How does that feel?
It's just weird that it's like you're as old as I was, even though it's not that long ago. But there was a period in time where you didn't exist, where I was here.
Yeah.
Sucking on a titty.
What?
Since day one.
Yeah, dude.
Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude. Give me some high five for
Holy
that. Holy
fuck, dude.
All right, yeah, but I'm Matt Watson, but you probably know that because it's the 47th episode. Sorry we were not here last week for a podcast. I was in Japan, and Ryan was jerking off at home. So we're back now, though. Back on regular podcast schedule. Sorry that we had to take a week.
So stop crying, you big babies.
Wipe your fucking nose. Blow it. Get a tissue or something. That's gross. Don't wipe it on your sleeve, because that's nasty. People that wipe their nose on their sleeve, that's disgusting.
Or just walk out of your room, close the door, sit down, and then listen to the podcast while it's echoing and you can only hear it muffled from within the door, so you don't get the full enjoyment out of it because you didn't respect us.
Yeah.
And if you're doing that, it sounds just like this right now. It sounds like we're on the other side of a wall. And, the rest of the podcast is going to sound like this, Ryan.
Yeah.
So, fuck you, listener. This is what you get.
Fuck.
You just get to listen to us?
Fuck you.
It sounds like you're in the bathroom at a club, and they're playing this on the club speakers instead of, bumping tunes.
Yeah, because for some reason you have fucking subwoofers in your room playing our podcast.
Imagine being in a club, like a packed club, with lights flashing, and they're playing this podcast.
Someone needs to make that happen. Someone who's a DJ. If you make that happen, we'll retweet you.
We'll come fly out to visit you and hang out.
And we'll retweet you.
Speaking of retweeting, I went to E3.
Sorry, I coughed out.
Okay, well I'll restart.
Some more tar.
Then. Okay. I went to E3. Went with my boy Barry.
Is that it? Is that all?
Yep, that's my whole story about E3.
You only went with Barry?
No, I went with Vernon the second. I wasn't trying to exclude Vernon. I was gonna talk about the first day where I only went with Barry. And then I was going to talk about the second day where I went with Barry and Vernon. I wasn't trying to exclude Vernon.
Okay, I just had to ask.
Yeah, but it was my first E3, kind of like a dream come true, because I used to watch it way back when I was a wee little boy, and I'd read about it in Nintendo Power. Being there was real cool. And this is the first year that they allowed people from the public. And oh shit, I didn't silence my phone.
God damn it.
Frank Jab C liked my tweet. Okay, sorry. Thanks, Frank. Thanks for liking the tweet. But,
Oh, yeah, well, Jacksepticeye just wished me a happy birthday, so.
Fuck you, dude!
Love you, Jack.
He doesn't listen. He doesn't give a shit about us anymore.
Well, this'll prove it.
Oh, yeah, we'll see. All right, Jack. See if I care. I mean,
I
The
don't care if you
cards are
listen-
on your table, Matt. I don't know.
That doesn't make sense. The cards are on.
He's the dealer. I don't know.
Yeah, but it was very crowded. I mean, I haven't been previous years, so I had nothing to compare it to. Nintendo's area was like a wall of flesh getting through
What?
because there were so many people.
Oh.
It was like you couldn't penetrate it.
It looks it's like gross. I just picture the walls are like bubbly flesh.
No,
with,
that's how
like,
Nintendo
little hairs
themed their.
sticking out.
That's how they themed their area this year.
Like
flesh.
Adventure.
Oh, I have been in that in South Carolina.
You've been in Ed,
where you go inside the body.
dude. You've been in Ed.
I have been in Ed, man.
Woo!
You know what they should
Who
do?
else has been in Ed? If you've been in Ed, leave a comment in the section below.
In the section? You know what? They at the end of that little area at the museum where you walk through Ed.
Yeah.
Is that his name?
Yeah, it's Ed Venture.
That's in Columbia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. At the end, they should have a shirt that says "I've been inside Ed." Like I survived Ed.
I survived Ed. Like little Rapid Falls T-shirts, like all family.
I
Have you ever
survived-
been on like a river rafting, like a big rapid?
No,
like,
I've
that's
always
so much
wanted to.
fun. You could die. It's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, because if you fall out, you fall in the water, and then you get stuck under a rock and die. That's terrible. And then you drown.
That was an odd advertisement. It's so much fun,
so much
but you
fun.
can
Go
die.
rafting,
It's
you can
fucking
die.
scary. I don't want to do it again.
Have you done it?
Yeah, I've done it like twice. I did it with Jesus Boys, my youth group.
The Jesus Boys?
They were girls too, but you know how God is.
Yeah. Did you have fun? Did you like it? Or was it just scary?
It was fun.
You said that very. Like, it was fun.
I don't want to talk about it.
But E3 was really cool. Except I didn't play any games the first day because the lines for every single thing I wanted to play were out the wazoo. They were like a
I
million
knew you were gonna
people.
say that. I was waiting.
Because I was gonna say out the door, but then that wasn't true. So I just said out the wazoo.
Yeah, they were out the wazoo.
You know where that came from? Over the hedge.
What?
That's the first time I ever heard out the wazoo.
Really?
Yeah, because he's talking about like where all the food. He's like they've got food
Well,
here, there, and they've got food.
Bill
coming out the
Murray's
wazoo.
talking about. Is Bill Murray or Bruce Willis? Which
Bill
one?
Murray's not in Over the Hedge.
Which one's the fucking main character? It's either Bruce Willis or Ben Henry. I don't know.
Who the fuck is Ben Henry?
I don't
Sounds like
know.
some 5th century president. America wasn't around in the 5th century. What am I saying?
Ben Henry. That's a perfect president name. that's like golden.
It's either like the perfect president name or the perfect like your like family friend name, like some like old family friend that comes
like,
to a cookout.
like he's the Bubba in your life. He's just your socially retarded friend.
Like-
I remember Ben Henry. He always wore overalls and like a miniature straw hat,
He'd come to the
like with a
cookouts.
string, like birthday hats have.
He'd like come to a family cookout and he'd like say hey, and you don't remember who he is every time, and he would just kind of stand and talk to a few people and leave, like drink a beer and eat a hot dog, and that's it.
And all of a sudden, like you see him leaving, and you go, "Wait, who was that?" And then your mom goes,
Ben
"That was
Henry."
Ben Henry."
She
And all of a sudden, you
goes,
go, "Whoa!" And then Johnny Cash plays in the background.
You're really good at world building.
Thank you.
That's nice. That's
Someone make that.
What do you mean make that? How's someone gonna make that?
No, hire a bunch of cameras and actors and make it. Just make it. I want to see it.
What's it gonna be? It's gonna be some guy in overalls getting into a pickup truck and driving away, and the kid going, "Who was that?" And mom goes, "That was Ben Henry." And then Johnny Cash plays. That's all it would be.
Who gives a shit?
Why would someone take their time to make that?
Why would someone take the time to make Pirates of the Caribbean 40?
That's
Oh yeah,
true.
because it makes money.
It will.
This has no. That was a stupid argument. I concede.
Okay. Well, and there you have it, folks. That's that.
So the. Nah.
Pirates of the Caribbean 40, the Ballad of Ben Henry.
The Ballad of
Dude,
Pirates
drop
of
the
the Caribbean 40. The Tale of Jack Shorty.
It's not even funny.
What if they made it? What if they made every Pirates of the Caribbean movie rhyme?
Wait,
Pirates of the Caribbean 2.
Old
Jack
man's shoe.
Jack just buckled his shoe.
The whole movie's just he buckled his shoe. And Pirates of the Caribbean 3. Old pirate tree.
Old pirate tree.
So they gotta go find the old pirate tree.
Pirates of the Caribbean 4. There was a knock on St. Nicholas's door.
It's like they sail to the North Pole.
Yeah, and you find out Santa Claus is a fucking pirate. Like he has this ice boat that carves through the fucking ice.
I could see them tying in like St. Nicholas into like the Pirates of the Caribbean universe, except he'd be some like evil version.
Yeah, like
Krampus or whatever.
Krampus.
Is it Krampus?
I think so. Krampus.
I don't.
Krampus.
That movie was
Krampus.
We saw that movie. That's right. I forgot about that.
We did.
Movie.
I thought that it could have been a lot more fun. I thought they didn't go. I know there's a lot of wacky stuff, but I feel like the direction could have been more quick as the movie, as the movie's tone wanted to kind of perceive itself as.
Yeah, that movie. Yeah, that movie really scared me. I had nightmares for weeks about.
I went to
Krampus.
I went to a little haunted house at Universal.
Oh, a Krampus
It was like,
haunted house?
yeah, it smelled like gingerbread. It's pretty good.
Ooh, love a little gingerbread. When I was at Universal, I went to the Walking Dead haunted house that you walk through, and they got all the people dressed up like zombies,
Yeah.
and they jump out and scare you and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Except the thing was, someone's walking in front of me, so I know when they're gonna jump out because they jump out to the person in front of me, and then when I walk right behind them, I'm like,
That's my favorite because I don't like being jumped.
Oh, those are fun. When
Not
people
for
jump
me.
scare you. I was in a. I'll talk about this more in depth in just a second.
What if I have a heart attack?
Oh yeah, that's a liability. They don't even make you sign anything before you go in.
It's fucked up.
What if they gave an old lady a heart attack and then her husband sued?
Do you think in purchasing the tickets, you also are like accepting the terms and conditions? So when you buy your like haunted Halloween Universal Nights of Horrors tickets,
Nights of Horrors?
horrors.
Nights of Horrors and Nights of Horrors are very different nights at Universal.
Yeah,
You can get the family pass for both of them, and it's great.
you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
What's
that? I thought you were gonna do like a little like experience. You're like,
because it fell flat. it hit the rim and then bounced off.
yeah, but fuck, what were we saying?
Something. Did that help?
Yeah.
Okay, we were talking about.
Oh, when you buy the tickets, is it like signing a waiver?
Yeah.
I mean, they have fine. Well, tickets always have a bunch of fine print on them and
So
shit.
you're accepting the terms and conditions.
Who reads that? Does anyone buy a ticket and sit down and look at all the fine print on it?
No.
Exactly.
There's one person though.
It's probably some guy walks in. He's like, before I start,
I'm prepared.
I need to read all the fine print.
Just when they want you to sign away your rights, I was there. I didn't do it. I didn't accept those terms and conditions.
Yeah, Jeremy, and then the rest of us went in the park and had a great day, and you stood outside.
Fuck you.
That's what would happen. Some like prideful guy. It's like, nah, I'm not signing away my rights. These corporations. And then his friend's like, thank fucking God. And then go and have a great day without him.
I know. They don't have to deal with them because like, if people that like that don't have Facebook, then it makes life a whole lot easier.
Oh yeah.
How many times do you go on Facebook and people are just pounding the shit out of political issues?
All the time.
Isn't that
Especially
crazy?
because most of my friends on Facebook are like freshly graduated from college.
Yeah,
now.
they're that age where
so
it's
just nothing but just so much political just bullshit. And it's
excuse them for wanting to help people, man.
Well, I'm sorry. I go on Facebook and all I see is I see some hardcore, SJWs all at war, just with their big SJW swords. They're swinging them, having a good time. And then I see like my
super
like,
right, like
family friends that are like 50 and 60 posting the opposite and getting in fights with these college students. It's fun to watch.
you and I are like saving pictures of our favorites of like
I'll
both
take
sides
screenshots.
of like
I'm
both
this is
sides.
good. This is fun.
I need to add more to that folder we have.
Yeah, we have a folder where we just like take screenshots of like funny people getting mad about politics, and we just save them to look at and laugh.
But it's like the memes they make.
like political memes just suck.
They think that they're these like statements that put a period at the end of something. Like it's like very strong,
mic
and
drop
solid.
memes.
Yeah,
It's like they feel like when they post this political meme, making this political statement, it's like a mic drop.
yeah.
And I'm not talking about one side or the other. I'm talking about both sides. They're just bad, and they are funny to look at. Because you just know when they post them, they're like, hey, got him. And they lean back in their chair like...
Their little sportsman sunglasses.
Yeah, but we have a whole folder of hilarious political memes. They're so bad. So bad.
Are they bad?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're hilarious.
I love them.
Maybe we'll make that available to the public one day.
Sometimes you'll hear a little from my room when I read a good one.
I'll text you one, and then from the other side of the apartment, I can't do your laugh.
What was that? That's Chris's version of my laugh. Which one's us?
It hurts my throat to do that. I can't do it. Okay, guys, I got.
That's it.
No, it's not the end of the podcast.
Oh, okay.
I got some stuff to talk about. I just got back from the land of the Orient. I went to Japan again for the
Against
second
his will.
time in 2017. The Japan men took me to Japan against my will. I had a great time.
They carried him there in a little crate. Said fragile, so they treated him nice.
Fuck you, Ryan. I'm not fragile.
You are emotionally.
No, I'm not.
It's not your fault, dude.
Yeah, but I went to Japan, had a blast. I went to go see my boy Christian, who
Dude!
yeah, he's gonna listen to this and just be like, oh God.
He's like,
He listens to our podcast every week.
does he?
Yeah, he does.
I love you, Christian.
Oh, yeah, see, now you're like, I love you, Christian.
What? Oh,
I
I'm
didn't
not,
say anything.
do I seem scared of Christian?
Yeah, you had a very uneasy look on your face.
Feels like he's
about
gonna
it.
like crawl into our apartment on like all fours, climb on the ceiling and shit.
Dude! Like spew acid out of his
What the
throat.
fuck?
I love Christian though. I went to go visit Christian. I was in a few of his vlogs for his channel that's coming out. He has a channel where he's like vlogging his experience living in Japan. They're very fun. Go check it out. It'll be in the description. But yeah, we went around. It was fun because this time I didn't have to spend any time really like learning how to get around or like no culture shock because I'd just been there 3 months earlier. So I kind of just got there and slipped right back into it and then could just go around and have fun. So I went to a lot of different fun places. One of the first nights, Christian and I walked through the red light district.
Wait. Did you go to one of the red light districts?
Yeah, Christian and I walked through one of the red light districts, and it was why did you?
What?
You said that, and I saw you laugh to yourself so hard.
Keep going. I'm having fun. It's my
you're having
birthday.
fun over
It's
there.
my fucking birthday.
Yeah, I'll let you have your fun, Ryan. We walked through this red light district, and it was like run by Nigerians or something. So all these
Scary.
yeah, real. I was busting a sweat, dude. I was breaking a sweat the moment I walked in that area. And this guy comes up and he's like, "Hey boys, you want to see some Japanese girls?" And I was just like,
But how do you know they're Nigerian? Sorry.
Because
Do they have like little gamer tags floating above their heads?
XX Nigeria? No, I read about it online. That it's like a lot of Nigerians are in Japan and they run a lot of that stuff. I could be wrong. Who knows? That guy could have been from Uganda or Liberia. But I've read that it's Nigerian, so my bets.
Your gut instinct.
My gut instinct
is when you saw them,
Nigerian.
you just go, boom, Nigerian.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, call me racist, but don't actually call me racist, please.
Butter me
But,
racist. But
I walked by and he's like, "Hey, you want to see a strip show, Japanese girl?" And I was like, "No, thank you, no, thank you." So I kept walking, and he was following us, trying to get us into this club. And he was getting desperate, and he was just like, "Hey, hey, hey, hey!" And he gets real close by me, and he goes, "You want to see some titties?" But the way he said it, just I died laughing right there on the spot. We
to
both
his
like,
face?
yeah, we
Did
laughed.
you
in his
accidentally like
face.
spit on him a little bit?
No, because he said titties.
Titties.
And I like Christian.
You want to see some titties?
Christian died laughing. Just I can't even do the voice right. It was just this Nigerian dude, thick Nigerian accent, saying "titties."
Did he walk away or like?
Yeah,
did
he walked away when we left.
Really? He was like, oh.
I probably hurt his feelings. Probably went home and cried. Looked at himself in the mirror and was
He
like,
probably got like 3 of his fingers cut off for that.
the Yakuza like.
Yeah, they punish him. How dare you not sell him titties?
I saw Yakuza people. I went to this one part of Tokyo late at night, another red light area where there was a lot of Yakuza people. It's just these guys, and they stand in suits, and they have earpieces in, and they just stand on like every street corner, just with these headsets in. And we just walked through all that and looked at them a lot.
You should have gone and poured water on one of them.
I was carrying around a drink because you can. There's open carry.
Are
in
they like
Japan.
British guards where they just have to stay still no matter what?
You can go up and make goofy faces. No, you do that, you're probably gonna get in some trouble.
Oh, okay.
But these guys it's kind of creepy. It's like they're all interconnected because they got earpieces in. So, just walked around, had fun with them, slapped them around a little bit, made faces at them. But yeah, a lot of fun stories from Japan. I went to this part of Japan called Yokohama, which is a little south of Tokyo, and it's like really cool port city. It's got a big Ferris wheel. Took some cool pictures. Rode on like a miniature version of Splash Mountain.
Is
they
the
have.
Ferris wheel as cool as the one in London?
It's not as big as the one in London, but it's the biggest Ferris wheel I've ever seen. It's fucking massive.
God damn, that's the biggest Ferris wheel I've ever seen. If my name ain't John Henry.
Is that what it was?
No, Ben Henry. Ben Henry, now that I'm thinking about it, sounds like some folklore character.
If my name ain't Ben
Like, you
Henry,
know, like,
that's the largest
Ben
damn Ferris wheel.
Henry. Like one of those like ones that has a giant axe or something. Ben Henry.
Like Paul Burton?
Yeah.
Fucking Paul Bunyan.
Paul Burton. Like Paul Blunt.
Paul-
What?
Paul Blunt?
Paul Blunt?
Is it Paul Blunt?
No. Why would it be Paul Blunt?
Blart. It's Paul Blart.
No,
Can't get names
no,
right
who
today.
are we thinking? I'm trying to think of like those big legends. Who are they?
Tom Bunyan. Fucking goddamn it, Paul Bunyan.
Yeah, Tom Bunyan.
Paul Bunyan.
Not Paul
Mix up
Blart.
Tom Sawyer with Paul Bunyan.
Fucking Paul Blart is a giant fucking black man with an axe.
He wasn't black.
One of them was. Who's the big black one?
The guy that had the silver hammer. Or
Yeah.
something. That guy?
Yeah, who's
He
he?
was born with like a silver hammer in his
Yeah,
hand?
who's he?
I don't remember. But
Oh,
he
so
like,
you don't remember the black one?
No, I
then.
just don't. No, it's not that. It's just like that's not as memorable. No, it's not. It's not anything about his race. It's just I don't remember that one as well.
Can I look up his name?
Something about something silver? No. What was his name?
Black man with big hammer.
It was like a silver. He was born with a silver
Big
spoon or something in his hand. Dude, if your wife had a child.
John Henry
No, are you serious?
is an African American folk hero.
John Henry?
John Henry.
That's almost Ben Henry.
I know. I think that's the first thing you said before Ben Henry.
Yeah, I said John Henry by accident.
There it is.
Oh wow, brought it full circle.
Look at
No,
that.
but he was born with like some like hammer or a spoon or something in his hand. How freaked out would you be if your wife gave birth and the baby had a fucking silver hammer in its hand?
Look at this boy. He's big.
Is he big?
Yeah, he's a
Let me
big
see
boy.
him. Let me see that boy.
Look at how big that boy is.
Damn, that boy's big.
According to legend, John Henry's prowess as a steel driver was measured in a race against a steam-powered hammer. A race that he won, only to die in victory. Oh, fuck.
Whoa, dude.
I'm sorry.
Come on, man.
Why don't we make... Now, there's one more little myth boy. The one that wears, like, the raccoon hat. Davy Crockett.
Yeah, we know that one.
Yep.
Wow, typical. We only know the cis white ones.
Yep. Well,
Davy
the reason I know Davy Crockett is because my, like, dad had this VHS, and it was like a Davy Crockett movie. It was like really old as like the old Yeller movies. I have no idea. I'm gonna see if I can find it. I'm gonna like get a wave of nostalgia if
We
I
should
see
watch
this.
it.
What was his name? Derek what?
Davy Crockett.
Davy Crockett. Yeah, it was like Disney's thing. Who did star?
Oh, was it animated?
No, it was this Davy Crockett.
What is that?
King of the Wild Frontier by Walt Disney Film Classics, the Great American Legend series.
The Great American Classics.
Oh, how'd I not know? It starred Fess Parker as Davy Crockett,
Who the fuck is Fess Parker?
and Buddy Ebsen as George Russell.
Oh, Buddy Ebsen. He's classic.
Can't forget about
Basil Roydsdale?
Roydsdale.
Ruysdael. Roydsdale? I think it's Roydsdale. I don't know. He died in 1960. That man's dead, dude.
Who gives a shit?
He died before anime was even invented. What a fucking loser. He never even got to see that. He had no idea. He died before SpongeBob was even conceived.
He died with a fucking finger and a thumb on his forehead, bro.
He was looking pretty dumb.
Dude.
Yeah, dude.
Wait, what's that, fuck, that laugh reminds me of the,
Kid from the Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Dude, his little, like, one of the, I think he went on to be a gay porn star.
Did he? That would be
One of the
amazing.
bullies in that movie went on to be a gay porn star.
Good for him.
No. Maybe he wasn't gay. I think he just went on to be a regular porn star.
I think, did the guy who did Ralphie ever do anything again? Was he in shit?
No, I don't think he
know.
was. That was like a one-hit wonder for
Was
him.
it?
I don't think he did
know.
anything else. He looks weird all grown up now.
Just a little big version.
A little big version.
A little big version.
Yeah, the kid from A Christmas Story is the new unlockable character in A Little Big Planet. It's new DLC.
I'd love it. You could make one of those sexy lamp things.
What? Oh yeah.
Dad orders the lady leg.
I forgot.
And I never
about that.
got what was so wrong about it. I was like, what's...
But it's just a different time, and that was like it was a sexy leg with fishnets, so the mom didn't like it.
It would be like in today's comedies, they'd have to go with the whole, like, it's a cock or something.
No, it'd be like Amy Schumer's vagina
Yeah.
as a lamp. It'd be so funny. Every time I look at it, I would laugh because Amy Schumer's so funny.
What?
Yeah.
What? You agree?
Yeah. Just my opinion, Matt. Don't crucify me here.
Yeah. I wasn't thinking about crucifying you.
Do I look like Christ to you?
No, we don't do that in this day and age, dude. Can I crucify you for your 23rd birthday?
If you wanted.
Cool, dude.
It's not against the law.
We should do a video
Where does it say in the law books you can't crucify someone?
Is there a specific law against crucifixion in American law, you think?
Like, I want to be crucified.
And a cop's gonna be like, well, go ahead.
Yeah, just put him up there.
As long as he doesn't die.
And a giant tear will fall from the sky as God cries. And it'll erupt a giant earthquake. And split the land in two, where the guards will fall through. Now it's just for me and you!
Ba-ba-da-ba.
It's the new musical. I crucified my son, O Lord. And it's like God going,
Like the Home Alone kid.
yeah. Exactly like that.
Call it like, holy moly.
Holy moly. Oh, yeah.
When he sends his only son to earth. Boom, 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 boom. And it's like shots of like Jesus like hanging out with like friends and stuff. It's like, what's up? Everybody like the music's all happy. It's like, then things took a turn for the worse. And the music changes and everything. And
Boom, boom.
you can make a whole early 2000s like movie commercial about when Christ came to earth.
I would love. Well, they already made kind of like. I've never seen it all the way, but I've seen most of it. They've done Jesus Christ Superstar.
Well, I saw that live. Yeah, that was actually phenomenal. I'd love to see it again. Except I think the same guy is still playing Jesus for 40 years. He's an old man. He's still playing Jesus.
You know, Willem Dafoe played Jesus once.
Who's Willem Dafoe?
I'm the Green Goblin.
Did he play that in Jesus Christ Superstar?
Did he play the Green Goblin?
No. Did he? Yeah, it's the best character in Jesus Christ Superstar. No, was he the guy who played Jesus in Jesus Christ Superstar?
No.
Oh, because
Willem Dafoe he played Jesus in a movie called Jesus Christ or something.
they're still, they're doing a remake.
That's the name of the movie.
Jesus Christ or something.
Yeah.
Oh, they're yo, Ross, what's up?
I got you soup.
Oh, thanks, man.
I just didn't want to go cold, because then you see your soup.
Before you got here, I ordered soup. It's not just like a random act of Ross giving me soup, so don't feel left out.
Free soup, but enjoy your soup.
Thanks, Ross. I hope I don't spill this on the couch.
Happy birthday again.
Hey, Ross, you're a real stand-up guy. He brought me Chinese chicken soup. I mean, I'd give you some, Ryan, but
I thought we were going out for dinner tonight.
We are going out for, dude. My watch it's on Japan time. It says 8:49 p.m. No, a.m.
I have to also go pick up a cake my mom ordered for me,
Mom
so I
ordered
can
you a
just
cake?
it's a big cake all for myself. It's gonna, like, you know how lonely that's gonna be.
I'll eat some of that cake.
Are you sure?
Why would I turn down free cake?
Okay, I think she got cupcakes too or some shit.
Oh, Cecile. God.
Our fridge is gonna be stacked with sweets.
Yeah, I got room for that shit, Cecile. Send it back. Send it back, Ryan.
Love you, Mom. She was like, open up your Facebook so people can wish you happy birthday, like to my friends, because like I don't allow anyone to post on my wall, and I'm like, no, and she's like, why? Because I'm like, because you made me do this. There was a point where my Facebook wall was just my mom's wall.
I remember.
It was just essentially just like posts of her and her memes, and like it's very sweet. I get it, I love my mom. Like the gestures, I love them. Like they mean a lot, and I understand them. But when it gets to the point where my own personal Facebook is clouded with just pictures of
like low JPEG like shared image that's like a mother's son is a truly special gift, with, like flowers and stuff.
And it's like that over and over again. It looks like I died or something. it looked like I was no longer alive. Looks like just
you were
a memorial.
in a coma.
Yeah, like my mom. This is the only way she feels like she can connect with me is because I'm in like some coma or something. She's like, he can hear me.
He'll see these posts when he wakes up. I love your mom. She's very sweet. Also, I'm not gonna tell Ross this, but he bought me this soup with his credits on this app, and it's like, it's not what I thought it was gonna be. Take a look at this soup. Look at this chicken.
That's
Ross,
fine.
What are you doing, dude?
What are you doing?
It's gross. Hold on, let me taste it real quick.
What the fuck is? Maybe it tastes.
It looks like just some brown water with like body parts in it. It doesn't even look like chicken.
Maybe it tastes good though.
I mean, it tastes fine.
The broth is fine.
It's a little watery.
Yeah.
It's like just looks like water with some chicken thrown into it. Fuck you, Ross. Why'd you give me such shitty soup, dude? God, using your free meal credits on me, and this is what you give me?
Jesus Christ.
dude. But speaking of Facebook, I
Don't have one.
No, I do have one.
Okay.
Believe it or not, but I got a lift yesterday from E3 because there's no way I'm driving to downtown LA during E3, and this really nice Indian dude picks me up, and see, I'm jet lagged as hell right now, and the reason I was leaving E3 was because I was in a Monster Hunter World demo, and the jet lag just click. It hit me in a matter of 10 minutes so bad.
It was like, boom, baby, I'm here.
Yeah, I could not keep my eyes open, so I'm like, I gotta go home. So, like, fingers crossed, I'm like, please, I just want an Uber driver that's not gonna talk, because I just want to, like, shut my eyes in the back seat and get home. And right now, it's gonna take, like, 40 minutes to get home with the traffic. I got the most energetic driver I've ever had in my life.
How old was he?
I think he's, like, 30s, in his late 30s.
Was he balding?
No, he actually looked surprisingly young. He was an Indian dude, and he was super, super nice and charismatic. He was just, his energy was at 100, and mine was at 3, and he was, like, just talking to me, like, because, usually you get in, you exchange, like, hey, how are you? Like, good, how about you? How's your day? Good. And then it just kind of, but then he just kept going with the conversation. There wasn't a moment of silence in that entire 45-minute ride home.
Why weren't you just
I
like,
did.
hey.
I was like, hey, man, I'm really, I was like, man, I was dropping little breadcrumbs. I was like, man, I'm just like, right now my internal clock is set to the other side of the world, so I'm pretty tired. I'm gonna go home and crash, and I might even shut my eyes right now. And he's like, oh, and just keep it. I'm like, oh. But then he's telling me how he's an aspiring actor out in Los Angeles. He moved here from India, and he's in some like web series and stuff, and he's on IMDb, and it was pretty cool. I was like, oh, awesome, man, that's great. And he was talking about his acting career, and then I told him, like, I told him what I do, and he was like, hey, my friend, can I add you on Facebook? And I was like, yeah, because I'm really awkward and passive, and I didn't want to, like, I'm really bad at saying no, because I still got, like, 30 minutes in the Uber.
Say no. Just say, I don't know you, dude.
Well, I said yes, and then I sent him a friend request.
Why did you send it? Well, you could have easily not sent him one. What?
Because I was too awkward and nervous, so then I get home, and I'm like, shit, I just added this, like, my Facebook is very private. I only have, like, close friends and family on there. That's the only social media that I have that is, like, my personal life. Everything else is open to the public for everyone to see. But Facebook is personal, because that's people from childhood, from high school, from college, from family, from space, from hell. It's like, those are people that I want to keep in touch with. So that's why I don't have that open to the public. And then I'm like, and I got this dude. So I get home and I see that he hasn't accepted it yet, so I unsent it. And I felt so bad, like, still to this,
who cares?
I feel terrible now. Because he was like, I got out of the ar, he was super excited. He's like, my friend, we're going to work together. And then I unsend it. And
why does he sound Russian?
I don't know. I can't. My friend,
we're
going to work together.
You're Norwegian. What?
My Norwegian?
Sorry, you're
Nigerian.
You're Nigerian. It says fucking narwhal. Is that Norwegian? It's not even. That's not even how you.
I always say Norwegian by accident.
Norwegian.
Norwegian. It's usually Norwegian.
Fuck that country. Whoever lives there,
fucking
you.
Nuke them, dude. Get them out of here.
Christ.
Get them out. I'm done with them.
They're gross.
Fuck them, dude. But I feel really bad, dude.
Yeah.
I just, like, I have this like moral turmoil
obligation to
like to add this guy on Facebook, and I still have his name.
Maybe you would have become best friends.
Maybe, like, he
could have been the third perfect person for Superman.
I think he's on some MTV show or something. Like, he's not failing as an actor. So maybe, like, God was giving me this.
He's doing Uber.
Well, it's a side job, you know. Being an actor is not easy. You're not gonna make a lot of money.
No, you're not. No, most actors don't make shit.
I know, especially if you're, like, up and coming or trying to be an actor in LA, because trying to be an actor in LA is fucking difficult. That's like, so many people try to do that.
Oh, and by the way, I'm not knocking Uber drivers. I've actually thought about becoming one.
You can't with your car, though. You need 4 doors.
I know, but I could become a Lyft, because there's like a 1-passenger thing, I think, on Lyft.
Oh, yeah. I've been using Lyft more now,
but actually, you keep breaking my car, so...
How am I breaking your car?
The seat doesn't work.
What do you mean the seat doesn't work?
The cover of the
How do you know I'm doing
that? Off.
Okay, the cover of the armrest came off while I was out of town.
It's all gross and dirty.
I keep it clean. I throw my shit away. But, you actually...
Yeah.
You had a story about your Lyft driver.
Oh my god, okay, yeah. So I got back from North Carolina,
North
home of the
Carolina.
Braves.
Why not
and
the South Carolina?
home of the Braves? Why not? Because that's not where Sunset Beach is. I go to Sunset Beach every year.
Nice, dude.
It's a nice beach, nice quiet beach. It's nice. And so I get back and I get a lift, and this car pulls up. It's an all like matte black Mustang with the rims are black. Everything about this car is just Batmobile black. And so, and there's like coming from
You
inside
can
the
feel
car.
the subwoofer.
So I can just feel it. You know, it's in every
You're
fiber
feeling
of
the
my
black,
fucking
dude. You're
being
feeling
right
the
now.
black.
Yeah, and so I open the door. It's this guy, and he's wearing of course, he's wearing a black tank top. He's wearing a black do-rag.
Wait,
He's got black sunglasses on,
Was he?
and he's black. I hop in. He's like, "Yo, what up?" And I'm like, "It's good." And
Ryan McGee interacts with black people, episode 1. Yo, what's up? It's good.
So during this whole drive, he tells me his life story. It's like this tragic 13-part Netflix miniseries.
Why do Uber drivers always do that?
don't
They always
know.
want to tell you their life stories. Like, dude, I'm just trying to get from point A to point B.
He's like, I was gonna be in the NFL, and I was like, you were? He's like, yeah, I was in training camp and everything, man. I'm like, that's cool. I was a star basketball player. I jumped the highest out of anyone on the team. My track record.
NFL's fucking football. What are you talking about? What are you talking about
He
basketball?
liked sports in high school, but I guess he was going for football. And so he's like, yeah, track, blah, blah, blah. But the system had it out for me, man. And I was like, what? It's like, they said I cheated on my SATs. I took that twice. My grades weren't even good on it. Why would I even cheat if I'm not going to make good grades? You know what I'm saying?
That's why you cheat.
No.
Because you're making bad grades. Why would you cheat if you're making good grades?
I know.
It doesn't make sense.
They're just like, okay. Yeah, but anyways, they just picked me and some other 2 boys at random. And we got kicked out training to play football. And, it's all good, though, now. I play just rec. I'm like, okay, that's cool. And then all of a sudden, the
Plays
phone...
what? Like the rec center?
Yeah, just rec.
Man, I play football at the rec center, man.
I don't know what he meant
rec
by
department?
that. He just said rec. Does that mean rec center? I guess.
Like the recreational department?
Why is
Like
there a
every
football
city
field
has?
in the recreational?
There's never a football field in the recreation
Then what is he
department.
talking
I don't
about?
know.
Is he speaking out of his ass?
Probably, dude.
Okay, that's great. Anyways, and he also talked to me a lot about Snoop Dogg. He talked to me about how Snoop Dogg's football league is really awesome and cool.
What? Snoop Dogg has a football league?
Apparently, I didn't look it up. I'm not fact-checking this guy. Apparently, since I believe that he played football in a rec center. He plays on, like, the ice rink or
The
some
SAT
shit.
fucked him in the ass.
I know. and so all of a sudden the phone rings, and it's this, like, old woman going, he's like, yo, what are you doing? He's like, Tyrese is blah, 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 blah. And he's like, grandmama, I'm driving somewhere right now. He didn't say grandmama. He said, like,
Yo, you told me
like,
Nene or something.
he
What
said,
was
like,
it?
Nene or, yeah.
You
It's
told
like,
me the other night
yo,
it was like Nina.
yeah, he was like, Nene or Nina. It was Nina or Nene. But wasn't that.
Yo,
So he like hangs up the phone on her. He's like, sorry, that was my grandma. I got a new boy.
got a new boy?
Yeah, I guess he had a new boy.
Like
He's
a boyfriend or like a little boy that he had just
A little boy,
like
I think.
given birth to
that
with
he,
someone?
that his some woman gave birth to. And he's talking to me about his daughter. He's like, and all of a sudden he goes back. He's like, yeah, man, I got in a car accident too. And I'm like, what? Yeah.
The man who's driving
he's-
you around is telling you, like, man, I got in a car accident.
But he told me because of the car accident, it like shrunk him an inch. Like one of the plates in his spine. Like,
Man, that other car has some magic powers, man. That's magic and shit, dude.
he told me how like one of his spinal plates like disappeared or some shit or shrunk down.
It flew out.
And now he became an inch shorter. He's like, I used to have a good posture, now I lean.
You didn't tell me that part the other night.
I didn't want to spoil the goods.
Oh, that shit's great.
That was the best
Where
part.
did part of his spine just go?
I don't know.
Disappeared.
He didn't tell me like it didn't like exit him or anything. I don't know. I don't know if he was talking about it like it was like an accordion. Like it's
like two Lego pieces that click together.
yeah.
The fuck?
But then he dropped me off.
No, dude, I know what it was. Like he didn't have insurance and couldn't pay the other driver off. So they're like, "Man, give me one of your spinal things." And they're like, "All right, man."
Oh, okay.
Popped it out and gave it to him. Shrank
Took
it
it out
down.
with some tweezers. Thanks.
Man, I love Uber drivers in LA. They're the fucking best.
I was having a good time.
You get so many great stories from them. Like I had this one guy. I briefly talked about this in the We Love Katamari episode, but I didn't mention the best part. I forgot. He told me that he just went on this tangent. I didn't even bring up marijuana. He started talking about marijuana and how it's really bad for you and makes you stupid. And he starts telling me about how marijuana will give you erectile dysfunction if you smoke it. And I was just like, I didn't bring it up or anything. He's like, man, it makes your brain not work, man. It makes some other things not work. You know what I'm saying? He like looks over his shoulder. He's like, man, you can't get it up if you're smoking that weed. And I'm like, okay.
Ever again.
Dude, you put that joint to your lips,
You'll become impotent for life.
your cock shrivels up like a little water balloon with no water.
Where does that liquid go? In your ass. Into a tumor in your ass. Now you have ass cancer. All because, what, Matt?
Marijuana.
Boom, baby!
It's a good sound clip. The boom, baby. Oh, man, dude. But
Woo!
I remember another time I was in an Uber, and the driver was telling me how the founding fathers all grew and smoked marijuana. So I've heard very conflicting accounts about marijuana from Uber drivers.
I thought it was like they grew hemp, which is not marijuana.
Well, he was telling me it was marijuana.
Illegal to grow, isn't
I'm
it?
sure hemp
is
is also illegal.
which is stupid because that's like you can
It's
make
used
it
for like clothes and
a bunch of
paper
shit.
and
Yeah.
medicine. Hemp is crazy awesome. God, listen to me. It
But
sounds like a damn hippie.
it's related to marijuana.
Are they very similar plants?
Yeah. The THC levels in industrial hemp are so low that no one can get high from smoking it. So yeah, they're just two different
Oh,
plants.
so it's just like a plant that's related to marijuana that also has THC in it, but it's just a much lower. Why is it illegal?
I think you can make oils and shit out of it. I don't know.
Like, why is hemp illegal?
Because it's related.
Well, it can't be that illegal because I remember like Toms were made out of hemp or something. Like
What was?
Toms, like the shoes?
Really?
There were some. This girl in my high school had shoes that were made out of hemp.
I'm not a fucking lawyer. I don't know the laws and whatever's when it comes to marijuana. All I know is
law students in the comments, explain why hemp is illegal to us, please.
and don't go because
No, they can if they want to, Ryan. You don't control them. Okay?
Yeah, that's true.
You just stop.
That's gonna be everyone's answer now. They're gonna be like
Just say
they're gonna
because.
have like a long intro to be like, well, see, due to your stupid fucking question about hemp and marijuana, obviously, because
I was on Reddit the other day and there was like someone was pointing out something about the 7-Eleven logo that bothers them.
yeah, what?
It's that in the word 11.
Wait, let me look at it. Let me look at it so I can get the full effect.
Yeah.
Is it gonna ruin it for me?
Here, I'll put the 7-Eleven logo up on the screen right now so everyone can see it.
Hold on. I'm looking at it.
It's all the letters are capital except for the N. See? The N is lowercase.
Yeah.
And someone in the comments was like, why is that? So someone wrote out this long post about like the founder of 7-Eleven and how he was actually like a huge racist and he didn't like black people like shopping in 7-Eleven. And he made the N lowercase to like as like a little thing between him and his friends to like express their grievance, like how they didn't like black people, and that's why the N is lowercase, so it stands out.
Wait, really?
And then the last sentence was like, "Nah, I just fucking made that up."
Oh,
I'm just kidding."
God.
So I read this like I hate when people do that. I love it and I hate it where they write out this huge thing like. So I'll read like some big explanation thing for 5 minutes, and when the last sentence it turns into some like shitty meme. I'm like, God damn it!
Because you find out that life isn't that interesting. Like you think like it's this big interesting, like you're so just enticed by it. Then it's pulled right from under you like a tablecloth
Or like a
on a
rug.
first date.
Tablecloth on a first date.
Yeah.
Hey,
Look, I'm coming up with all these sayings. People need to fucking write a book. Put them all in a book.
Yeah, take that to the dry cleaners and pay for it.
Yeah, whatever that was. Take it to the cleaners and pay for it.
Why is I was gonna search why is the N lowercase 7-Eleven, and one of the first things that comes up is on autocomplete is why is Caillou bald? I need the answer to that, dude.
But why though?
That whiny little bitch. People also ask, like this is Google said this. People also ask, Why Caillou have no hair? Is Caillou based on a cancer patient?
Why Caillou?
Why Caillou have no hair? I'm not shitting you. Look at that. It says that.
That's a good question.
That's an official Google suggestion. Why Caillou have no hair?
It's perfect. Our laughs were in sync on that one. They
That was
sounded
pretty
very
good.
similar.
It's like a group of cackling hyenas. Caillou was initially created as a baby of 9 months. What? Little bitch ain't 9 months.
9 months. That's some creepy
He acts
Exorcist
like it, dude.
shit if he's 9 months.
And he's that smart at 9 months? He's like doing like he's making friendships and playing in the garden and stuff?
That'd be real smart to make friendships.
Well, you don't make friendships at 9 months. He speaks good English at 9
Well,
months.
legend has it Ben Henry made friendships at 6 months.
Damn, Ben Henry's a legend. Here we go. So we decided that Caillou would never have any hair, and he went on to become popular as a little boy who was bald. Caillou's baldness may make him different, but we hope it helps children understand that different isn't just okay, it's normal. Yeah, okay.
But he's a fucking freak.
Yeah. Exactly. Like the Caillou publishers are like, no, it's because, it's like he's different, and we want people to embrace different. When I look at this big, round, melon-headed little fuck, I don't think I'm not like, he's different, but that's okay. It's like, no, he just looks like a freak.
Who drew him like this?
Like, you know what? Like, if Caillou is a cancer patient, all respect to him. But if he's just a bald little freak, and then the narrator, I'm pretty sure for Caillou is Miss Puff.
Really?
I think it's the same woman.
Does
yeah.
it sound like Miss Puff?
It sounds just like Miss Puff. That sounded just like Miss Puff.
You
If she
think?
dies, you should replace Miss Puff on
I'll
SpongeBob.
do it.
And you know what bothers me about?
SquarePants.
I think I was talking about this with Ding Dong. What bothers me about Caillou is like the edges of the scene are never like finished, so it looks like it's in some weird like unfinished void.
Because he's dead. Because he's a...
He's in purgatory.
Yeah,
If I
because
died and in purgatory was Caillou, that would be awful. I'd rather go straight to hell.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, what's the worst thing imaginable? Like, when you were little, when you pictured hell, like, what were the punishments when you were little that you thought
I always
would
pictured
happen?
I always pictured this big, like, when I pictured hell, I pictured a big red cavern,
Yeah.
like very dark, and there's like lava and fire, and it's really hot, and there's big scary demons, and I remember there were like
with horns and tails
yeah,
and
yeah,
shit.
and there were like 10-foot tall cockroaches, and there were like huge centipedes and spiders and shit. That's what I pictured hell to be, and like still to this day, when I think of hell, I still think of that same scene. Even though if hell is real, I guarantee it's not like that. I feel like if hell's real, it's probably just a black void that's really empty and like just terrifying.
When I was a kid, I thought hell was a place you'd go, and like there was fire and stuff, of course, and you just like you'd appear in hell when you die, and then a bunch of people would just beat you up, and you wouldn't be able to die or anything. They just beat you up for all eternity. I always thought like just for all eternity you'd just be being hit.
I mean, that sounds like hell. That would suck. Okay, if hell is real, Ryan, what do you honestly like? Let's say hell does exist.
Okay.
What would you think it actually would be? It's like I don't think it'd be fire and shit. I think it would just be like a terrifying void where you're just like alone and empty, and like you're aware of that. And it's
Like you wouldn't
just,
think it would be kind of like, in the video game Dante's Inferno, it wouldn't be like crazy, like fucking
like Satan's like
Yeah.
stroking his goatee with a pitchfork.
Yeah. What would hell be like? I always pictured hell would just kind of be. I'm trying to create it now.
Watching some Jacksepticeye videos, you know what I'm saying?
Sorry about that, Jack.
What would hell be, Ryan?
Hell would be me being dead, and then for an eternity, my mom is controlling all my social media.
God, my laugh was uncontrollable right there. That hurt. Your hair looks fucking rad right now, dude.
Yeah.
Let me take a picture of this.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
What's up, dude? How's it going?
Damn.
Let me see. What does it fucking
Look
look
at your
like?
hair right now.
Holy
What's up with it?
shit.
How's it doing that?
I don't know. I have no.
Look at your face.
I have no fucking clue.
That looks badass. That's on screen right now. Look at the screen, guys. That's on screen.
I don't know what to do with my hair. I've never taken care of it when it got long. So
Why don't you just start doing it like that? That looks awesome.
Yeah.
That's so stylized and cool.
I'll just go around and
Seriously,
wear it like
get
this.
some Get some like pomade stuff and just like put it up like that.
Just go it up and make it like mini Super Saiyan.
It looks badass. It really does.
Does it?
Guys, tell Ryan in the comments how cool that hairstyle looks and how he should definitely do his hair like that. Come on, dude.
I was thinking of just parting it straight through the middle and brushing it all down to be the same length.
You should do like the Dumb and Dumber haircut.
Yeah, exactly.
That would look really good on you. There was a point, one time when I was younger, I got a haircut and I ended up looking like Jim Carrey from Dumb and Dumber. Looked really bad.
You're so mean to yourself.
What do you mean?
Self-love, Matt. Self-love.
I got plenty of self-love.
Prove it. What do you love about yourself?
I'm tall.
Narcissist.
Wait, Ryan, you set me up for that.
Gotcha.
Damn it.
I'm like Chris. What's his name?
Hansen.
Yes, Christopher Hansen, my man.
Yeah, dude.
Wow!
Cheating on his wife.
Ow!
It's ironic he got caught in a sting cheating on his wife.
Get that Ashley Madison up in here.
Did Chris Hansen have an Ashley Madison account?
No,
Oh.
I don't think so.
He probably did, dude. Chris Hansen. What do you think Chris Hansen jerks off to?
His show.
Like the footage of himself busting pedophiles.
Yeah.
Oh. He busts them, and then he busts to that.
There we go.
You see,
Boom,
yeah.
bada bing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude.
But those sayings used to be like really cool and
Bada boom,
suave.
bada bing.
Yeah, and you just take them down to the river and bada boom,
Bada boom, bada bing.
and now it's just hey, bada boom, bada bing, boom, boom. Just onomatopoeia noises, just fucking weird sounds.
Your smack?
It's like if I pulled an arcade lever, that's what I hear.
Christian, when you come out to LA, we'll you come on the podcast and you can right all the wrongs and you can tell your side of the story of everything that's ever happened.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's the ball's in your court. That's what it is.
The ball is in Christian's court. Christian, you're gonna come and you're gonna play some ball. Yep.
Just dribble it around.
Dribble. I forget. Is that what it's called? Right?
Yeah, dribbling. Come on, dribble that ball.
That just sounds like
Dribble, dribble, dribble. Come on.
I haven't heard that word in a while. When I hear the word dribble, I think of like,
God damn it. Johnson wasn't dribbling hard enough.
dribble it, Johnson. Dribble the fucking ball.
God damn it, dribble that fucker.
I was drinking, dude. I'm imagining a drill sergeant on a basketball court. God damn it, Private! Dribble that shit!
He just goes home to his wife. What's wrong? Just the men, they're not dribbling. They need to learn how to fucking dribble. Just he's like laying awake in bed. You hear like his dreams like echoing. He's like, dribble that ball. Come on, stop that dribble.
God damn it, Private! Dribble that goddamn ball!
Dribble. His name's Dribble. Sergeant Dribble.
Sergeant Dribble. Reminds me of Lieutenant Dangle, whatever his name is from Reno 911.
Such a good show.
Oh man,
I need to go and
back
rewatch
watch
that.
It's Jinx.
You owe me a
soda.
Yeah.
Do you remember Cherry Coke's old logo? Speaking of owing you a soda, remember Cherry
Just
Coke's
a pair
old
of
logo?
balls?
Imagine if Cherry Coke's old logo was just a pair of balls. It's the stupidest shit I've heard all day. Why am I laughing so hard at that?
Because it's stupid.
God, why did Brent just email me? Brent just emailed me in a group email, watch Fidget Spinner song for kids. Brent, what the fuck, dude?
What? I'm not in that email chain.
Yes, to you, me, and Aaron.
Wait, really?
You are in that email chain.
I don't. Well, hold
Does
on.
Brent have the
Let
wrong
me see.
email
No, I
for
got it. Watch Fidget Spinner song for kids.
This kid's onto something every day. I love how Gmail has started giving you it gives you suggested responses you can send right away. It said, these are the 3 suggested responses Gmail wants me to send back. Love it. I love this song, or good one. I'll send good one. There you go. I just sent good one back to the group.
There we go.
I hope Aaron doesn't fire me. He's going to think I'm being passive-aggressive. And what if Brent gets mad? Thinks I'm just being an
He's
asshole.
gonna cry. He's gonna burst in during this podcast. Now, boys!
Boys, why didn't you like the Fidget Spinner song for kids?
What the fuck was that about? I feel like y'all are just ganging up on me.
When Obama walks in, boys, you gotta respect your boss.
Fuck you.
Brent, you gotta be...
Dale? That was Dale Dribble?
Dale Gribble.
Gribble?
Dale Gribble. Imagine a scene with Dale Gribble, Brent,
I'm just
Barack
picturing
Obama.
if your dad sounded like that.
Like Dale? How do you do Dale's voice? Hank, the government's onto me.
Come on, Hank, the government's onto
Yeah,
us.
yeah, that's good. That's good. That's such a clever show. Like how he thinks that Joseph is his son.
Yeah.
Native American gets his son. He doesn't catch the John
Like
Redcorn.
Judge. Isn't he working on a
That's
live
Silicon
action
Valley.
show? Yeah,
Yeah,
I haven't
just-
seen that. I wonder if I don't know.
I heard it's very good.
Okay, I'm gonna have to watch it. I mean, it's Mike Judge.
Fucking Thomas Middleditch and Kumail. They were in The Office. They're on that show.
Thomas Middleditch is funny. I like
He's
him.
very funny. He's in a lot of stuff. So is Kumail now.
He's a good improvisational comedian.
They're very funny men. Very funny boys.
They're the funny boys.
Off topic. Did you have anyone in your family that was in the Confederate Army, Ryan?
No.
Being from the South?
Well, I was born in the South. My mom's from fucking Africa.
Oh yeah, dude. Did she have anyone in her family that was in the Confederate Army?
yeah, of course.
My family was the opposite. I think actually my family was well, I'm related to Ulysses S. Grant, and he was like the head of the Union people.
Are you?
Yeah.
Good for you.
I am, believe it or not. Ulysses S. Grant is my relative. Not like direct. I think I'm related to his wife, and
Yeah.
then because they had kids and stuff, so I have somehow related to him. I don't know like what direct relation it is. My mom told me this ages ago.
He'd be proud of you today.
He'd be so proud. He'd say, I'm president of the United States during the Civil War, and one day someone
gets up on
related to me.
stage. He does that thing where he does he points his thumb at himself. Just, I'm the president of the United States.
And one day, I'm going to have an ancestor or a future relative who's going to be a Let's Player. Yes.
Y'all don't know what that is, but let me tell you. Woo!
Real funny stuff.
Coming at you live.
When I watch it, I got to take my shirt off because it's so funny. I burst into sweat.
Here I am. I'm taking my shirt off right now for you. Just got to say everything I'm doing so you guys know exactly what I'm doing because I'm saying
this is what
it.
the Let's Players do,
You'll see. You'll see.
And he takes off his shirt and his little webcam in the corner.
His GoPro nipples.
GoPro nipples? Does he have GoPros for nipples?
He stapled them on.
That was his claim to fame before he was president. Was he had GoPro nipples? That's actually what got him elected.
He had to get that first person.
Wait, with the GoPro.
Him banging little Grant. Oh my God, man, Miss Grant.
Why'd you say little Grant? What kind of Freudian slip was that?
I was gonna say like Little Miss, but I just cut out the Miss. But he was fucking Little Grant.
Like a small version of himself? Like a little version of Ulysses S. Grant? Does he have small GoPro nipples because he's a tiny version?
Just the mini.
Do they? GoPro's already mini. Why would they even make a smaller version? You'd lose it. Fall between like the couch cushions. You never see it again.
Micro GoPro.
It's like the size of a soybean. Like you'd be filming in like the shower with, and you drop it and go down the drain.
Oh well.
Why would you
film
be
in the
using a
shower?
GoPro in the shower? Never mind.
I used to Vine in the shower.
When I was in Japan, Christian and I went to the beach, and he's like, "Dude, my phone's waterproof. Let's go film in the ocean." So he took his phone out in the ocean, and like. This would only happen to Christian. It's such a Christian thing that he runs out in the ocean with his phone, and I'm behind him, and he's like, and I can tell he's like trying to get a cool shot, and he's holding his phone, and he dives in, and he dives into a wave, and it's like probably 5 feet deep, and he comes up, and he's like, "Fucking hell, I dropped it!" And he's like freaking out, and I'm trying not to laugh because I'm like, "Oh God, Christian!" And he's like, "I dropped it. Help me find it." So we have to start like diving to the bottom of the ocean floor, like trying to find his cell phone because that's his only that's his life out there. He can't. That's how he's connected to the world. He can't get a new phone in Japan. So he's like diving around. It took us about 3 minutes, but finally we found it. I'm terrified. Like we're swimming to the bottom.
Who was the one to find it?
He did it. He found it. He felt it with his foot. But that was like such a panicked moment. But he
God.
filmed the whole thing, and he's
Really?
gonna put it in one of his future
Good.
videos. So, and you can hear us like under
That would be awesome if his phone was filming the whole time.
it was.
Wait, really?
Yeah. That's what
So
I
like
just
when he
said, yeah.
found. Oh, I thought you meant like he made you film.
No. It was filming on the ocean floor, and you can like see our shadows moving around above, and you can hear us like muffled, like Christian freaking out and stuff.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
How does the mic work that well? That's awesome.
I don't know. It's like 5 feet underwater. It's the Galaxy. It's waterproof and everything. So good
There you
job,
go.
Samsung. Well, not good job with the other Samsung phone that is banned from all airplanes because it explodes. But
Whoa, dude, fake.
it's not fake.
Yeah,
Ryan.
it's real.
The batteries would explode or something.
Were they
'cause
lithium
use
or
cheap
some
Chinese
shit?
garbage.
I don't know.
I'm not calling the Chinese garbage. I'm saying the batteries were cheap Chinese lithium garbage shit.
Gross.
Yeah, dude.
They stunk.
Ew.
Get them out of here.
Hey, go. Get it out.
Deport those things.
Those batteries. Send them back to China. Throw them in some soup. Let's build a wall around China to keep. Oh, there already is one. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, what? The Great Wall?
The Great Wall of China.
There it is.
Is that around? That's not around all of China. It's just to keep the Mongols out, right?
Who's the leader of the Mongols?
Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan?
Khan. What's his name? Fucking Jesus Khan.
Genghis Khan?
Genghis Khan.
The Pokemon?
He killed people that were taller than him because I guess it made him.
Is that real or is that a myth?
I don't know. Let's call the MythBusters in. Jamie Adam, get in here. I'm an atheist.
Thanks, guys. Consider that one busted.
Consider that myth busted, baby. Busted right open.
We're always happy to have Jamie and Adam in here.
He's such a fucking douche with his little beret and his gay ass goatee.
Why do you hate the guy?
He's a dick, dude. There's a whole montage of him being an asshole.
To Jamie?
No, just in general. Like he just looks like an asshole.
He just wants to be left alone.
Dude, come on, look at him. You know he's a dick.
Yeah.
Like he's the type of guy where if you get his order wrong, he's not gonna.
If he hears this is gonna be the last straw for him.
And he's gonna go and kill a bunch of people.
Yeah, he's gonna go postal.
He's gonna wear a shirt that says
he's gonna
Super
go
Mega
Mythstal.
Made me do this.
Haha. Gotti. I said it. Fuck you.
Stop saying that, Ryan.
No.
It's time to let it die.
No.
It's time to
I've been saying it since like 2014 or 2015.
You know, you've been saying D's nuts before I even met you, and we're still saying it. I busted one yesterday.
Did
I
you
didn't bust a
really?
nut. I busted a D's nuts joke
Yeah.
yesterday. And I'm still saying "damn Daniel" on the daily basis on the reg.
Yeah, you troll some onliners with that one.
Yeah, I do. Damn Daniel. Damn Daniel. I love these Damn Daniel videos. Michelle, put it on loop.
I'm gonna ask Matt for advice, and I'm gonna tell you afterwards if it helped me at all.
Are we cutting this part out?
Yes.
Okay.
It was kind of helpful.
Okay, yeah. No one knows what we were talking about.
Nope. What's gonna be in that?
Yeah, guess in the comments what advice Ryan was asking for.
Oh, look at all those funny comments.
Was he asking how to have sex?
Good one, guys.
Thumb that one up, guys. If you see that one, thumb that up. Guys, we're going to pin that comment to the top. It's going to be funny.
If I see that as the top comment, I'm deleting it immediately. So be on the lookout for me deleting a comment.
Now everyone's going to comment it just so it'll get deleted.
Delete what I just said.
No.
Okay, fine.
Keep it in.
I'm not going to read the comments on that video then.
Fine. I'll read them and I'll relay the info. Say, hey, Ryan, all the comments were funny jokes about you not knowing how to have sex and asking me for advice. Like I would know. Hold on, I gotta bring up Dan Schneider. There was a post on Reddit today where it was like Dan Schneider was a genius, and it's like a funny screenshot from Drake and Josh. Just being like, man, it was Dan Schneider made the best shows, and it was a funny screenshot from Drake and Josh. And I'm like, let me go read the comments. Every fucking comment was like, Dan, hold her tighter, she's a fighter, Schneider.
Oh my god.
Dan, the man with the band, Schneider. And like every comment was dictated. And then like one of the comments deeper down was like, guys, like there's absolutely zero proof of this.
There's no proof.
Listen. They were like, guys, there's zero proof of this. This is I'm sure that this is affecting his personal and business life. It's not right to be doing this. But and when they like threw their own, it was like Dan the Hymen Collider. Like they just threw that in at the end. It was so funny.
You know he sees that shit too.
Of course, that's his legacy online.
That's his legacy.
And you know what? If he's not I don't know if he's a pedophile or not. Like I don't have proof of that. There's creepy pictures, and I know that he's got a big foot fetish. He does what Tarantino does. Like, you know that show Sam and Cat? Did you ever see that tweet they tweeted out? I actually took a screenshot of it. Hold on, let me pull it up.
Where they're like, send us your feet.
Yeah, here it is. Sam and Cat tomorrow. Right on the bottom of your foot. Take a pic and use hashtag Sam and Cat Saturday. We'll retweet and follow until our fingers get sore. And I read through the responses.
Till the wrist gets sore.
Yeah, Dan's like, I'll read through these until my wrist gets sore.
Let's not. I don't want to do that.
I don't want. He's gonna sue us. But I read through the responses and a bunch of kids' feet. It was creepy.
I know.
Like it's just like, Dan, that's not helping you out, dude.
I know.
That was probably just some girl like intern PR, and she tweeted out, and then Dan's like, no.
Dan's like,
no,
fuck.
I mean, yes, but no.
Schneider, look how many feet. No!
Just forward them to me, and God damn it.
This is gonna be a PR nightmare. Was it Jerry Springer?
Jerry Springfield?
Seinfeld.
Jerry Springfield? Jerry Seinfeld? I don't know what I'm saying.
Jerry San Fernando.
Jerry Sanders.
Jerry
Bernie Sanders and Jerry Seinfeld, like a movie where they, like The Fly, but they go into a machine and get turned into one man. And it's like Jerry Seinfeld, and he's fighting for democratic socialism.
That would just be the most average, boring-looking human.
That is like a regular New Yorker.
I know.
Your hair looks fucking red, dude. You look like Johnny Test, all grown up and a drug addict.
Good.
Happy birthday, Ryan.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. Oh, before we end the podcast, we are about to jump into that Twitch game, baby. We're finally getting everything set up for it. We're back in town, so we can finally start streaming. So, we're going to start within the next few weeks. That is a promise. So, if you want to go ahead,
Preemptively follow us.
Yeah, go ahead and follow our Twitches. Ryan, what's yours?
Mine is twitch.tv/Eli Ryan McGee. It's the same as all my handles, so just look it up.
Mine is actually slightly different from all my handles. Mine is just MH Watson instead of Matt H. Watson because it's simpler, and I like it. So it's MH Watson. So go, I'll put the links down in the description.
Okay.
So if you want to go ahead and subscribe and turn on notifications so you know when we stream for the first time, feel free to do that. You don't have to, but we appreciate it.
Matt will probably be streaming the first out of the both of us because I'm still waiting for a computer to arrive. But you'll probably be streaming within a couple weeks. I'll probably be streaming within the next month.
Yeah, this bad boy got a computer.
Yeah, it's going to feel nice to have a computer in my room.
Yeah.
Other than that god darn Mac.
Dude, you can watch porn in your room now.
Sounds good to me.
Cool, dude. What type of porn you like?
Phone porn.
Phone porn?
It's porn that people record with their phones.
Dude, me too. That amateur, you know what I'm saying?
High five.
Gotta go for amateur POV. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening to this podcast episode. We're going to be back next week with episode 48. And then, wow, we're going to be at 50. We got to do some big celebration for episode 50 because I feel like 50 episodes of a podcast is a big milestone. So we're gonna have some fun in episode 50. So just keep tuning in. Podcast is on iTunes the following Saturday or something. Connor uploads it.
Welcome back to Louder with Crowder. I'm your host, Steven Crowder.
And I'm Gay Jared. And today, we got a fun little episode for all you guys. Episode 48.
We have everything planned. This isn't just us coming back from going home to take like an hour nap and then coming back to record a podcast. That's not at all what this is.
No, we have it all planned out, man.
It's 100% to the T, on the list, doing the twist. We got it down.
Doing the twist, drinking Sierra Mist. This podcast is.
That's how you know you're a podcast host or a radio host. You rhyme and you're
rhyming
slick
all the time. Dude, you know what? They changed the name of Sierra Mist to Mist Twist. Unless that's just a completely different drink and they killed Sierra Mist.
I think Sierra Mist still a thing. I still see it on like soda pop fountains.
Soda pop fountains?
I know it sounds weird. I thought I would try it. That's not what we call it.
I just thought I would try it.
I did. I was like, let's see if it sounds like. What is making that noise?
That?
I heard it twice.
It sounded like a rat screeching.
That's what I thought the first time.
Sounds like a rat.
Yeah, there's like a. Should I go over there and?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm actually.
I'm serious. Was that a? Hold on. Let me check. There was something that was. Was that a rat? Is there a rat giving birth? Dude, if there's a rat giving birth, that'd be awesome. Sorry, we're back from that. There's just a weird noise. It sounded like from the corner of the room. Was that it again?
I didn't hear it.
Okay, well, there was a weird noise. It sounded like a rat crying out in pain or something from behind the TV that's in the room. So, yeah. But anyway, Ryan was talking about soda pop.
Yeah, it's good.
It's good stuff.
I got back on it. I should stop because I'm gaining weight faster than Jeff Gordon. That's it.
Oh,
just faster than Jeff Gordon.
I thought you had some good.
Nah.
I was waiting for a classic Ryan McGee Supreme. God damn it! I'm sorry, dude.
It's every fucking podcast.
My phone doesn't.
Every fucking one.
My
like you'd think you'd learn your goddamn lesson. Do you plan this?
No.
Oh, let me set a 5-minute timer into the podcast. Where my phone goes off.
I said, Mom, text me in 10 minutes, okay? I want to annoy Ryan.
I want it to become a thing. I'm putting Ryan through a little experiment because I'm a sociopath and I like to test people that I call my friend.
Me making my phone go off makes me a sociopath?
Yeah.
No, I didn't confess. I'm not making my phone go off, but my phone goes off. That doesn't make me a phone.
My phone goes off.
My phone go off.
Dude, you picked it up. I'm proud of you.
Of course I picked it up. We did a whole series where every other joke was based on that. My
It's a
gun
good
go
series. Hey, if we haven't pumped that series enough, go check it out.
off. Blood on the Sand. It's the 50 Cent game with Ding Dong and Julian.
Really good one. Right now, we're actually doing another series with them. Katamari and the Great Love Seed. You can go watch that as soon as possible right now.
Man.
Stop watching the podcast.
Well, you could, I guess. Well, I
Actually don't.
I live
I don't know.
I live for these Ryanisms you come up with.
It's when you let me go on and you don't stop me.
I love that. You'll be going on, you'll be rambling. I just don't interject. I just keep you going because you don't want to be awkward.
Keep me going. You make it sound like you're like this mastermind just looking on this fucking pathetic lab experiment. That's why you're a sociopath.
Why do you keep? This is the third time you've called me a sociopath this week.
You know, you're trying to make me feel guilty.
Did you just learn that word?
You're gaslighting me, dude.
I'm not gaslighting you. You're gaslighting me by making me think that I'm a sociopath
Okay.
at every twist and turn.
Okay.
And just like that, I said the word twist, which ties it back to the opening of the podcast.
Full circle. Good
so,
job. Good job.
Guys, thank you so much for listening to this podcast. It's been episode 48, and we'll see you next week. Dude, what a weird coincidence. This is seriously freaking me out right now.
Okay.
So, while we were freaking out about that's it, the sound right there. That sound. While we were freaking out about...
It's definitely electrical now that I'm listening to it.
Yeah, but while we were freaking out about the sound that we said sounds like a rat, then my phone went off. It was a picture of my mom holding up a dead rat from a mousetrap.
Your mom holding up
a mousetrap.
Does she look happy? Is it like someone who just caught a buck, or like one of those people that like goes out and shoots African wildlife and like holds it up as a trophy?
Yeah, it kind of looks like it, Mom.
Can I see it? Yeah, she's really fucking proud
of that. But no, isn't that weird though? Like, as we're talking about the rat sound, my phone goes off, and it's my mom with a rat that she killed. Speaking of killing things, we're actually gonna kill this podcast, guys. So thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next week. Have a great day. God bless.
Psych, gotcha.
Gotcha again, guys. Did it again. Oops, I did it again, as Brittany said. So I was reading this thing recently about this guy who just basically traveled around the world for free on cargo ships.
Yeah.
Because apparently you can just get apparently you can travel on cargo ships. If they have open rooms, you can pay them like a couple $100 or something, and they'll let you ride on the cargo ship in a little.
Will they?
If you pay, yeah.
I would love to do that once just to see how it was.
And apparently you got to do like a little bit of deck work, but not anything hard. Or that's what this guy said. But that's crazy because
okay, I was about to say that's crazy because like I was reading this article about this guy that traveled the world in 80 days. So that's pretty cool.
Keep it together, Ryan. Keep that composure. You're laughing at your own joke over there. That was the lamest joke
I love stupid bad jokes.
I think the best part of that was the crux of the joke was you changed what I said to just make it just the title of Around the World in 80 Days. And you couldn't keep it together.
The Jackie Chan one, of the good one.
With Jackie Chan?
Yeah.
And then like you couldn't keep it together.
You know that he was in Around the World in 30 days?
80 days.
80 days?
Yes, I do.
Okay. 30 days? I always forget shit like the moment after I say it.
Well, nowadays you can go around the world in 2 days, probably.
Nah.
It can't take that long to fly around the world.
True. I mean, it took you, what, like 13 hours?
9 hours to fly from Tokyo to LA.
So, yeah, you'd be cutting it close. But if you had a one-way ticket around the world...
That would suck. Oh my God. I mean, I would probably do it.
Why would you do it? Just to do it?
Because that's cool. It's like, wow, I flew all the way around the globe.
Yeah, but who cares? What do you take pictures of? Nothing. You'll be up in the sky.
No, you probably see some cool stuff.
Oh, for all you know, they could be like flying the plane up and going in circles, and then it's like, oh, here you go.
And say, wow, there's the beautiful arid deserts of Mongolia.
You'd be so high up, you wouldn't see that shit.
No, I'd tell him to fly it lower.
Hey, could you please fly lower, please?
I'd say, yo, Cap, fly this shit lower. And he'd go, all right, dog. And he'd fly the plane a little bit lower. And I'd say, yo, Cap, it's a little too low for my comfort. And he'd say, nah, this is just right.
Yo, Cap, could you please slow the plane down? I'm about to throw up.
imagine ringing the flight attendant thing, like, can you ask the pilot to slow the plane down? I'm getting a little airsick.
I'm about to fucking barf, dude.
I'm about to lose my lunch. Can you slow the plane down?
Oh, I'm gonna hurl. I think hurl is my favorite synonym for vomit.
I like toe jam. Get it? Toe jam and hurl.
I don't know who that is.
What?
I don't know what that is.
What do you mean you don't know what that is?
I don't know what that is. Who's that?
Toe jam and Earl?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Do you really not know what toe jam and Earl is? Or
No, I don't.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Are you Ryan McGeeing me right now, or are you fully
What's going
serious?
on? Is he a famous film director? Like
Toe Jam and Earl? Yeah, it's one person that's a famous film director.
Who is he?
Ding Dong has him. He has a shirt or a hoodie or something. Wears them all the time.
And?
That's them.
I'm gonna look it up.
You know Toe Jam and Earl.
Do I?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes. What is that sound, dude?
It's a little electric wire.
Is there a rat trapped in the PlayStation 1?
These people?
Yeah.
I don't know them.
You don't know them?
No, they look freaky.
Ah, we should play it on the channel then.
They look like they're from Osmosis Jones.
Yeah, we should play it on the channel.
Okay.
I think if you guys want to see that, let us know. Sorry,
Nice.
I got a weird feeling in my throat.
Nice.
Bringing it back though, I think working on a container ship would be. I don't know. I feel like if I got super depressed and I was ready to just like be done with life, I'd just be like, you know what? I'm gonna change and I'm just gonna go get on a cargo ship and live for a couple weeks.
I'm gonna go change into a new outfit.
I'm trying to, talk about my emotions, about, my depression, and here you are making a big joke.
Yeah, but it's
out of
YouTube. They don't care about your real emotions. They want that fake shit.
All right, well,
Get on it.
guys, we're nearing 250,000 subscribers.
And I'm leaving Smosh.
I'm not gonna lie. When I saw that Smosh was breaking up, it hit this weird,
I know, dude.
string of my heart.
Because the first video I saw on YouTube was the Pokemon theme song thing, which of course got taken down.
Yeah, and that was the first video to hit 1 million views, I think, wasn't it?
I have no idea.
And I don't know, Smosh, back when I was in 5th grade, was when they were first starting out, I think, my friend showed them to me. There's that sound again. My friend showed them to me, and we'd watch. I'd go sleep over at his house and we'd watch Smosh all night. And they only had 100 videos or something at a time, which that's still a lot of videos.
Was this around the same Shane Dawson phase of yours?
But they kind of are what made me start making videos in the first place, because I saw these guys doing this sketch comedy and I was like, oh, you can do that. So I got a video camera and I tried to do it myself, and it was real bad.
That was the same for me. I was like, how come? What cameras do they use? What do they use? What editing software? How do I get effects like that? And of course, looking back, they're all horrible effects.
And cameras.
Yeah.
But for back then,
I was like, what?
Everyone's carrying around a Nokia phone that takes
I remember first hearing about how they lived in a house or something together and they would just film around there. I was like, what? That would be cool. I'd love to have my own place and film sketches. But I just started making videos where I'd jump off a porch and then reverse it so it looked like I was jumping on it.
Okay, now that's badass, dude. Give me a high five.
Then I'd use LS Maker and make some lightsaber duels.
Okay,
dude.
what are we doing making Let's Plays in a podcast?
Then I'd face my arch nemesis by putting them in and keying them in through Pivot Stick Figure Maker.
Oh, dude, Pivot. Now you're speaking my language.
I know, right?
Well, what are we doing this podcast? It's stupid. Why don't we go back to making that stuff? Let's make videos of you jumping off a porch in reverse.
Let's make Halo 3 Machinima.
Yes, dude.
Let's do it.
That's where the money is.
Okay, I'm down.
Halo 3 Machinima, Ryan going off a porch backwards.
Hey guys, we're here to announce that Deus Ex Machina season, the new season is being made by Matt and I. It's going to come out next winter. Make sure to keep your eyes peeled. Not only that, but included in the special box set, we're going to include a Arby and Chief Christmas special. So we're bringing all of that back. So yeah, that's cool.
the saying "keep your eyes peeled" makes me cringe every time, simply because of that SpongeBob episode where he like peels his eyes off when he says "keep your eyes peeled" and he just and like every time I hear "keep your eyes peeled," I imagine peeling my eye like that.
Just like jitter a cheese grater on your eye.
Ryan, you just made everyone listening stop. Oh God! Why'd you put that image in my? I guarantee so many people are doing the same thing as me right now.
I'm sorry.
Oh fuck, man. Oh
my God!
I almost want to not put people through the pain of hearing that.
No, it's fine.
No, I'll leave it in. I'll leave it in. Let Ryan know how you feel about that one in the comments, dude. Oh,
there's gonna be a lot of comments that are like, Matt, you're a little bitch.
There's probably gonna be some calling me a little bitch.
Yeah.
I was gonna say let's come up with more visceral things like that, but then I decided that is not a good way to keep people listening to the podcast. What were we talking about?
I don't know, that fucking squeaking noise keeps resetting my brain.
I know.
Every time I hear it, I I go, what? And then I have to work my way back to the conversation.
Ryan, we haven't had one coherent conversation on this podcast.
This is gonna be can we just call this one the fever dream?
Sure.
Because it's just a bunch of fucking nonsense.
It's like we start to have a conversation, and then that noise happens, and it derails my train of thought and sends me somewhere else.
It's making me crazy, dude. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Okay, where is it coming from?
I don't know.
Can we figure out where it's coming from? If I had to guess, it looks like it's coming from the original Xbox, like that area.
Yeah, it's like coming over right there.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go sit over there and wait for it.
Okay, yeah, go sit over there. Turn your mic towards yourself. Here.
Yeah?
You gotta speak loud, though.
Louder.
Speak a little louder. A little louder with Crowder.
Like something down here.
What is it? Wait, next to you, with the orange light on it.
This.
No, to the right, the left. The thing with the orange light.
I was thinking like it's either that or this. Hold on.
What the hell is it?
Hold on. Wait. It's gotta be this. The Genesis CDX.
It's the Genesis CDX doing it.
Because there's a disc spinning in there.
That's it then. It's probably scratching the disc. You know what? Just leave it. If it happens, we can deal with the sound, okay? We'll deal with it, Ryan. We'll deal with it. All right. Sorry, guys. We're back. You know, we had to assess the situation.
It's getting hotter. We have like 10 conversations every 2 minutes.
But guys, you know what? That's what you're paying for. That's what you like.
What are they paying for? They're paying for nothing. This is free.
It's not free, Ryan. They got to pay for internet.
No, their parents pay for their internet.
So you're assuming all of our listeners are children that live with their parents?
Okay, honestly, I think we do have somewhat of a mature fan base.
I think if I had to personify, I feel like probably 90% of the people that recognize us, or either one of us when we're out, I'd say it would probably have to be like just a carbon copy of Jared Fogle.
Yep. I always get handshakes from them.
Jared is always coming up to me in public and saying like, "Hey, Matt from Super Mega, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you're Jared."
No.
Oh. Nice save, man.
Just stop. These stupid lamps. Anyways, sorry, I almost
knocked over a lamp.
Yeah, I almost knocked over a lamp.
In the middle of my story about meeting Jared Fogle.
I'm sorry. Continue.
Anyway, Jared's always coming up to me. I see probably 2 or 3 of him a day.
2 or 3 Jareds a day.
They're everywhere now, dude.
Hey, are you Matt Watson?
Yes, I am from Super Mega.
Okay. Look, I was just walking by and I noticed you, and I couldn't believe it. I mean, I really like Super Mega. I really enjoy your content.
Thank you. That really means a lot. Glad you like it.
Would you want to take a picture with me?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Here, let's I'll get over here. Let's get in. Okay.
Sorry, I was
ready?
just jogging, so that's why I'm all.
That's fine, man.
So I'm all
here. Ready?
Sorry if I smell.
It's okay. Here, I'll take the picture. I got a longer arm.
No. I want to.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Ready?
Yeah.
All right.
No, that one's a little too blurry.
You want another one? Yeah, let's do another one. Okay.
Hold.
All right. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
That's good. That one's good.
Thank you so much. Hey, if you ever need anything, just or anyone, just give me a call.
Yeah. Sure, man. Hey, nice to meet you. What's your name again?
Jared.
Jared? Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well,
I know you work for the Game Grumps.
Yeah, I do.
So, I mean, if I never thought that I'd meet someone that could open doors for me in other ways. But if you ever need like another editor or something.
Oh man, I think we're good. But thanks for the offer, man. That really means a lot that you would.
Yeah. Okay. Bye, Matt.
See you, man. Have a good day.
Yes. Part of that was based on a legit conversation I had while I was walking through the mall. This kid came up to me and he asked me, he's like, "Wait, you edit for Game Grumps, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." "So you know Danny and Aaron?" I'm like, "Yeah." "Oh my god, I never would have imagined meeting someone who had all these connections. Do y'all need any new like editors or something?" I was like, no.
Aaron, I got a new editor. He's gonna be great. I met him at the mall.
Yeah.
Is that Aaron?
Yeah.
Is Aaron's voice now?
Yeah.
Okay. It's me, Aaron Hansen.
I wish Aaron talked like that.
Oh.
Like, what if Aaron had a minor stroke and then his voice was that forever? I would love that. If my boss had a stroke, the man paying my paycheck had a stroke, that'd be so funny.
That'd be hilarious. God, Aaron, our man.
Aaron Handelson.
Haha, Aaron, I know you listen to every single episode of this podcast because you always come up to me and you're always telling me how much you love the Super Mega Cast.
You love Super Mega Cast. He's wearing the shirt that's not out yet. He's wearing all sorts of cool
He's wearing our
things, dude.
snapback.
Aaron's always coming up to us in the morning when we're sitting at our desks at work, and he goes, "Guys, I just want to let you know, I listened to the new episode of the Super Mega Cast podcast on iTunes and on YouTube, and it was really something else, and I really had a great time listening to it."
But I would really like it if you guys could put it on SoundCloud or
How can I listen to it on Android, even though it's been on, Google Play Music or whatever it's called ever since the beginning, and it's already available on Android, so you can, please keep asking us the same question that already has an answer to it.
But some of your episodes are uploaded not on time.
Usually, like, sometimes a day or two late to iTunes.
Sometimes, honestly, like a week or so.
And, even though I know you guys get no benefit out of putting it on iTunes because you make no money from putting it on iTunes.
Whoa. Wouldn't it become about money? Aaron, it's not
Aaron,
all about
Aaron,
money.
What are you talking about, dude? It's not about money.
Jesus Christ, Aaron.
Yeah, I know. I just love money, and I'm gay. And seen.
Oh, hey, boys.
No. We're not bringing Brent into this
one. Were you playing around?
I knew that Brent would naturally end up in that scene as soon as we started talking about money and gayness. I'm sorry, Brent. I know you have the power to fire me from my job. It's all in good taste. I'm the one deciding it's in good taste. So
yeah.
It's all good.
What if, like, Aaron actually listens to this one episode and goes, "Yeah, that joke about the money, what the fuck was that about?"
Can't see Aaron acting like that. Just imagine.
I know.
We're at our desk editing, and he's like, "Hey guys, come here, we gotta talk." And he like takes us into the back room, and he's like, "So
he makes sure like the heat is blowing instead of AC,
as hot as it can be, so we're just drenched in sweat already."
Yeah.
Guys, I was listening to your podcast, and heard you were saying some things about me. You were doing an impression of me, and I noticed, it was all fun and games until you started.
It's all jokes, Aaron.
And then you made the joke about money and me caring about money, and then you made the joke about the gayness, and that really wasn't cool, guys.
We didn't mean anything by it. It was just a joke. There was no like correlation.
Yeah, but you're putting that out to potentially hundreds of thousands of people.
Nobody's actually gonna think that's true. We just fuck around on the podcast.
And then you guys did this whole, this really weird role play as me pulling you aside and telling you I didn't like those jokes.
That was just a joke, Aaron.
And you just did this. You carried it on, and you said everything you're saying right now in this meeting.
Hey guys, well.
The door opens and it's Aaron. Yeah. Guys, I just got back from the future and I was listening to this and I had to stop it before it started.
What the fuck is going on? All of a sudden, like, he crashes through the ceiling. Jesus Christ, don't stop them. They have to make this podcast.
What happened? What would you do?
I don't know.
How would you react?
I'd freak out and be like,
Imagine being trapped in a paradox like that where you can't do anything. What if every choice you make has a ripple effect, the butterfly effect? What if by us doing this podcast on this topic, we create a paradox somehow?
It's like Ashton Kutcher's butterfly effect.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Did you ever see that? I never did.
No, of course I didn't see that.
Does he die in the end?
I don't know. I just said I didn't see it.
Okay, welcome. Hey, guys. Put on some, like, game show music or something. Hey, guys, what's up? Welcome to the part of the show where we spoil the butterfly effect, starring Ashton Kutcher. Okay, so as I look this up, Matt, entertain them.
Hey, guys, what's up? While my co-host looks up the spoiler for today's episode of Spoiling the Butterfly Effect with popular actor Ashton Kutcher, I'm going to give you some Ashton Kutcher trivia that you might not know. Okay, ready? Did you know Ashton Kutcher was actually
the son of a religious zealot who was he had a little bit of stock in Warner Brothers Studios, so he made a nice amount of money to buy his family a bigger house. That's some Ashton Kutcher trivia for you guys. Couldn't be more excited to reveal the answer. The spoiler to today's episode. Ryan?
Evan travels back to the birthday party where he first meets Kaylee and whispers to her, "I hate you, and if you ever come near me again, I'll kill you and your whole damn family." Kaylee runs away crying. After a montage of his memories disintegrating, Evan returns to present day in the dorm room with Lenny, and the two of them burn all of Evan's journals. 8 years pass. One day, Evan and Kaylee, Amy Smart, are walking down a street, going in opposite directions.
Are you reading
when
the
they
whole...
pass
Ryan.
each other, they seem to recognize each other for a second, but keep walking away. He chooses to never know someone because he fucks up some lie. I don't understand the ending. I didn't watch the movie.
That's almost the exact same plot as Your Name.
Your Name?
Yeah, the anime movie.
But thanks anyway, guys, for stopping by the Spoiler Hut. Take it back, Matt and Ryan from the Super Mega Cast.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Thank you so much.
That was definitely a very funny bit. So, thanks,
I'm
guys.
glad they committed to it.
Yeah, they really did commit to it.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to have them on again, though.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Speaking of Your Name, that anime movie, I watched it on my flight.
The one that they were talking about?
Yeah,
Okay.
It was fucking beautiful.
Was it?
It
Okay.
was so good.
I need to see it. I need to see that and the Red Turtle, I think it's called.
The Red Turtle?
I might be stupid. Red.
Yeah, you might.
Yeah, it's called the Red Turtle. Looks like this. This is what the movie poster looks like. You never saw it?
No, I haven't.
A man is shipwrecked on a deserted island and encounters a red turtle, which changes his life. I thought it would sound right up your alley. You like deserted on an island shit.
I do. I love movies about being stranded and shit.
Do you want to watch that, though?
Yeah, we should watch it. Is it out?
Yeah, it came out in 2016.
Oh, cool. We should check it out. But Your Name, if you haven't seen it and, you like Japanese stuff because you're a fucking nerd, you should go watch that movie. It's very emotional and it's very beautifully done. The art is insane. And, it was awkward because I'm on this flight across the Pacific, so I got the TV screen in the back of the seat type of deal. Like every seat has that. And I'm like, you know what? I got a 9-hour flight. I'm going to watch some movies. So I start The Infiltrator with Bryan Cranston.
Perfect.
And I'm watching it. And then some titties come on the screen.
What?
Well, they weren't like exposed titties, but it's a scene where Bryan Cranston, he's undercover, and the cartel people are like, "Hey, we got you a gift," and it's like a hot babe. So then it cuts to a shot of
like an escort.
Yeah, like an escort, and she's she's dancing for him, and she's not wearing really much clothing. And then I realized I'm in a dark airplane cabin where everyone can look at my screen behind me, so I had to turn it off. So I put on this other movie. I'm like, I'm gonna watch Your Name. So I start watching Your Name, and then the guy wakes up in the girl's body. That's not a spoiler. That's the plot of the movie. And first thing he does is he like feels her breasts and like looks in the mirror and like jiggles the breasts. And I'm just sitting there.
Are they animated well, though?
They're animated very well. But
so, do they look like?
Yeah, they look like real breasts.
Are they real or are they fake?
Well, it's fake because it's anime. But
no, are they natural?
Yeah, it's very natural.
Okay.
But
what cup you think?
Probably I'd say a B cup.
Okay. Sorry, go on.
Someone can analyze it and get her cup size, but
go on. I don't care about that stuff. I was just asking because I was just
But anyway, so just think about this image. I'm just this white guy sitting on a plane.
Does he play with her ass though?
And I'm watching this anime girl like jiggle her breasts and get all red in the face. And there's like a ton of Japanese people on the plane around me.
I need to go to the restroom. I think I got to poo poo, so it's gonna take like quite a bit.